what are they going to say? I mean, there has never been a more reckless, negligent administration that I can remember in my lifetime. And as an attorney general, as the wife of a law enforcement officer, as a federal prosecutor, as a judge, I sat horrified that that was the person that was in charge of our safety, our commander-in-chief, in charge of our borders. And I know, Mr. Wold, you have talked about the danger in executive actions being pushed out when somebody's not in charge that understands how it's affecting the safety of this nation. I'm sure based on your prior experience and some of the things that you saw being pushed out, I often thought, this is a radical aide's dream. You have a commander-in-chief barely paying, probably not able to pay attention, and they're pushing out policies left and right. Tell me in your experience if you noticed anything where that could be the case coming out of that administration.
Yeah, thank you, Senator. I mean, I think on the immigration score itself, so many of those sort of special powers exercised by President Biden on parole, on temporary protected status, they require the president to do those in his own name, correct? It's a case-by-case evaluation performed by the chief executive. And so I think in reviewing some of those, when I was sitting on the sidelines, the question I had was, what does the paper process look like for that? How did DHS work that up? How did it go through the staff secretary's office? And what was the president briefed on as far as the policy considerations tied to some of these decisions to bring in violent criminals from Haiti or Nicaragua into the interior of the United States?
And it concern you when you learned, and we are now uncovering, that cabinet officials were kept from meeting
Oh man, my mic was muted again. Guys, welcome to the live. I just fired it up and we're getting warmed up here. What's up, State Line? How are you, buddy? Good to have you, man. I went and did leg day already and I'm back. I did 30 minutes in the sauna. Dude, it was hot. I'm cooked. I got cooked, bro. But we're back, man. A couple things going on. This apparently, I don't know if this is live or not. I think it is live, but I don't know. But they're talking about the Autopen. So very good conversation. I want to learn more about the Autopen. I know that was, from what I'm hearing, it was not really, Biden didn't know about some of the things that were signed by the Autopen.
with the president for months.
And then there's this other thing where we got this new, apparently, big, awesome plane that was just made. So we'll see what's up with
months
that.
at a time.
Look, I mean, if you go back through our history, Senator, so Grover Cleveland, Wilson, FDR, JFK, President Johnson, President Biden, it's almost a Democrat sport to keep from the American people the health and acuity of the chief executive. They've been doing this for a long time, but this is of another level, especially as Mr. Spicer was mentioning, the complicity of the national media in obscuring this, but also that cabinet officers would go to the lengths of avoiding interacting with the chief executive because they were fearful that they would have to speak to his diminished capacity.
And I'm running out of time, and it was of particular concern that the media seemed to never ask him about executive actions and policy.
Let me check, bro.
Favorite flavor of ice cream? Yes. Why he was pushing dangerous criminals into the interior of this nation? No. And that is why I think this hearing was so very important. What was coming out of this administration was...
Yeah, I just made chat live now, so you're good to go. So we're watching this. This is about the Autopen. They're talking about Biden, and was he aware of what was signed by the Autopen?
A radical wish list. And certainly you can see it, what has happened to the consequences playing out right now. And now I think we're all seeing why.
Thank you. Senator Blackburn.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I'm so pleased. I joined my colleague from Florida in saying it is time that we have this hearing. All across Tennessee, I hear from people every single week that say, what was really going on in the White House? And why would no one say anything when, with your very own eyes, you could look at any of the footage and see what was transpiring with President Biden? And I think the fact that many of his own cabinet members knew that he was not fit to serve and that there was a cabal behind the curtain who was making all the decisions. It is so offensive to the American people. And it's not something that is a partisan issue. As I talk with Democrats, many of them have lost faith in what they thought was going to be a very moderate Joe Biden administration, and it turned into be the far left Bernie Sanders version of the Democrat Party that was using the Autopen and making decisions and committing our great nation to policies that the American people did not support and would never have supported. And I fully believe that because of that overreach and that flippant attitude that much of his staff had toward the policies of this nation, to people in the administration.
I want to hear some facts. I want to find out what really happened with Autopen. What's up, Sanaz? Finally, someone said it about Biden. I always wondered why he was never asked any serious questions.
Okay, cool. Chuckled about tossing gold bars off the Titanic. They knew they were going down. They knew they were going to be found out. And they probably knew at some point there would be a hearing like today, and the other side of the dais would be completely empty because no one can defend what they did. Mr. Wold, I want to come to you for a moment and talk about something that was really a disturbing revelation from the Tapper Thompson book. And you know, this is part of the thing. Now we're finding out the media was all a part of the joke. They were part of the ruse. They were part of the fraud that was pushed forward. A Biden staffer told the authors that Biden just had to win and then he could disappear for 4 years. That's all they needed to do. And, you know, it is, the following statement was, he'd only have to show proof of life every once in a while. And as I had a Tennessean say to me, when they had actually downloaded this book and read it, and then they said, you know, how stupid do they think we are? And the disrespect this administration showed to the American people. Why is it that the American people appreciate that President Trump goes out and nearly every day is taking questions and answering questions? Is because they have now found out that these staffers were willing to do undemocratic things, as using their term, to keep the president in office, to keep Biden there. They were willing to do undemocratic things, unlawful things. So, Mr. Wold, let's talk about that behavior and how that undermines the faith of Tennesseans and all Americans in our public institutions, because they could see what was happening, but they were being lied to by people in the White House who were probably then running in their office and saying, well, we pulled it off another day.
Yeah, Senator, I mean, this is a theme you've talked about for many years, which is the executive branch is enormous. I mean, there are close to 1,000 employees in the executive office of the president. There are nearly 4 million full-time federal employees throughout the 14 departments that the president oversees. Executive power as accountable to the people of this country really manifests in two ways: the power of the president to remove bureaucrats and to fire them, and to affix his signature to official actions that he undertakes. So when the Washington establishment says something to the effect of, well, democracy dies in darkness, yes, it does when there are staffers, the media, cabinet officials, senior advisors to the president who all create a covering sort of shroud of darkness that obscures who is actually making the decisions. And one other thing I'll just say very quickly, a number of your colleagues on the Democrat side have said, well, there's an OLC opinion here. We don't need to talk anymore. There's an OLC opinion. It says you can use the Autopen. The opening paragraph of that OLC opinion says you can use the Autopen, but only when the president directs that you do so under his decision-making power, right? It is very, very clear.
This is the part that I want to learn is, did he actually, was he aware of what was being done?
Again and again, that the president actually has to make the decision. That cannot be delegated to a staffer or an advisor. And there's no indication here that anyone other than staff were making these decisions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Senator Hawley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thanks to all the witnesses for
Ooh, Senator Hawley, bro. Here we go. Here we go. What's up, Aquariums?
being here. You know, the visual, sometimes it's really is true. A picture speaks louder than words. It's worth 1,000 words. And here, all you have to do is look over at this side of the dais to see that the stone wall continues. I mean, from the party that lied to this nation for 4 years, let's just take a look at some of the things that our colleagues said on the Democrat side when their own Justice Department was concluding that Joe Biden, who, let's not forget, illegally took classified documents and kept them in his garage, in his freezer. I mean, Lord knows where. He just certainly didn't know. Their own Justice Department interviewed the guy and concluded he could not form the requisite mental state to stand trial. He did not have the mental ability to stand trial. And what did our Democrat colleagues say? Vice President Harris says, oh, no, the way that the Hur report characterized the president is so wrong. The president's demeanor is totally fine. Senator Smith, what the Hur said about the president not remembering his son's death, so unfair. Senator Kaine said this is grandstanding. Senator Fetterman said it's just cheap shots. You had other senators saying, Senator Ossoff in February of 2024, saying, and I quote, I found the president to be sharp, focused, impressive, formidable, and effective. In June 2024, Congressman Jeffries insists Biden was, and I'm quoting again, incredibly strong, forceful, and decisive.
Guys, do I have to play the Biden video? Do I have to play it?
A good bit of time with Joe Biden. Start your tape right now, because I'm about to tell you the truth. And F you if you can't handle the truth. This version of Biden, intellectually, analytically, is the best Biden ever. Not a close second. And I've known him for years. The Brzezinskis have known him for 50 years. If it weren't the truth, I wouldn't say it.
Do I have to play it, guys?
If dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally
do I have to play it again?
COVID.
How many times do I have to play it for you guys, bro?
COVID, excuse me, with dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death, and he's destroying Medicare.
Do I have to play it again? How many times do I have to play it? It's the evening session, guys. I just did my leg day and my sauna, and you guys are putting me on edge again, man. You're making me do this.
With the COVID, excuse me, with dealing with everything we have to do with.
Dealing with everything we have to do with it. Look.
If we finally beat Medicare.
The way Trump looks at him. Continue, Senator Hawley.
Where are they now?
Out, and they probably had to.
Yeah,
Continue.
Senator, I mean, this is a theme of your.
For
Come on, Senator Hawley.
years, Let's just take a look at some of the things that our colleagues said on the Democrat side when their own Justice Department was concluding that Joe Biden, who, let's not forget, illegally took classified documents and kept them in his garage, in his freezer.
What's up, DK? What's up, Reed? What's up, Nikki? Nikki says Holly is so hot. Nikki, we have on my channel what we call palate cleansers. We have some girls that are hot, and we also have some guys at the girls' request, of course, not mine. But we do have Senator Hawley. We have this picture of him. Look. Is that your man, Nikki? Nikki, is that your man? Is that your man?
I mean, Lord knows where. He just certainly didn't know. Their own Justice Department.
Let me show you the other palate cleansers here. Here, that is Senator Hawley, and then this is Anna Paulina Luna. This is Carolyn. Let me do a quick adjustment here. Something's off. There we go. There she is. And here is Mary Margaret Olohan. Aquarium likes RFK. Here's RFK. All right, let's go back.
Interviewed the guy and concluded he could not form the requisite mental state to stand trial. He did not have the mental ability to stand trial. And what did our Democrat colleagues say? Vice President Harris says, oh, no, the way that the Hur report characterized the president is so wrong. The president's demeanor is totally fine. Senator Smith, what the Hur said about the president not remembering his son's death, so unfair. Senator Kaine said this is grandstanding. Senator Fetterman said it's just cheap shots. You had other senators saying, Senator Ossoff in February of 2024, saying, and I quote, I found the president to be sharp, focused, impressive, formidable, and effective. In June 2024, Congressman Jeffries insists Biden was, and I'm quoting again, incredibly strong, forceful, and decisive. Where are they now? They don't want to answer for any of those quotes now.
That's what I thought.
They lied to us for 4 years, and we know they lied. They know they lied. It's why they're not here. They don't want to answer a single question. They can't bear to show their faces in public.
That's what I thought. Where are they now, bro? What's up, Random? What's up, Michael?
And you know what? It's right that they can't do that because the bill of goods they sold this country, they walked this country right into one of the greatest constitutional crises of our history. And now they are afraid to even show up to admit it. These are people, and this is a party that cannot be trusted with power, that cannot be trusted to tell the truth, the most basic truth. They all changed their tunes after Joe Biden debated President Trump, and the whole world could see he couldn't even form a sentence, that running this guy for president again is a form of elder abuse. My, how they changed their tunes after that. Now they can't even show up in public to talk about it. This is embarrassing. But worse than that, it's dangerous. It is dangerous for this country. Mr. Wold, I want to pick up on something you just said a second ago about the OLC and their opinion as to when an Autopen can be used. Just be clear about this. Autopen means not signed by the person. Autopen.
Miss Medication, come say hi. Come on. It's been a while. You haven't said hi.
Hey, I miss everyone. Watch, we're on mute.
No, we're not on mute.
I always forget. I have to look over here.
Yeah, right here. In here.
Hola.
Is basically push of a button and it gets signed. OLC says only when the president specifically directs it and it is under his direct authority.
They say hello.
Basically have that right?
That's correct, Senator.
So, Aquarium's asking, what do you think of RFK?
Looking-wise?
Yeah.
I mean,
You want to tell him yourself?
I think he's a good-looking guy, but I just can't really get over how he talks. Like, I know it's like a thing, you know? Like, it's not like he's doing it on purpose. And I just don't like all the sun damage he got. But
He's aging gracefully.
I know. The funny thing is, I'm probably gonna be like that. I'm just kidding. but he has really pretty eyes. I don't know.
So do you.
Yeah, but like, thank you. But he's a hot guy. I mean, his body for how old is he? Like 70? 80? How old is he?
I think he's I don't know. I think he's like 70.
Yeah, for that, like 65? That's insane to have a body like that.
70?
I wonder if he does peptides.
I don't know if he does. You guys think he does peptides? Let me go here. He does kind of, random says he does kind of have hot dog skin.
Yeah, it happens, to the best of us.
Aquarium says sexy grandpa.
Yeah, he's totally a sexy grandpa.
Ex-heroin addict. Okay.
That's what he is?
It's hard to listen for very long. Yeah. Definitely on the peptides. I bet he's on the peptides, bro. 100%. BPC, bro. He's on BPC. He's on Wolverine. He's on everything, bro. Let's go. Letitia in the world. Come over to YouTube so you can talk to more of us. Letitia, you're on Instagram. All right, guys, let's go.
So, based on the facts we know, did that happen in this case?
I bet Boo Boo says I doubt it. He is a health nut. I say I think he's on it because he's a health nut.
All of the pardons and clemencies and other giveaways that Joe Biden signed?
Assuming that the Biden White House complied with sort of traditional practice of presidential administrations and that there was record keeping either from the staff secretary or others, there should be records to indicate either through covering memorandum or briefing books where the president would have signed his signature authorizing this decision. None of that has come forward. That would be very easy to dispel some of these concerns. And I think what we're seeing here is really the Autopen is best understood as a sort of a tool of executive convenience.
Hold on a second.
I want to hear this, but Aquariums, I kind of agree, bro. If we figure out peptides and we really get it down, locked down good, and we know how to use it right, and it gets dialed in, it's probably the end of big pharma, bro.
You just said something very important. I want to emphasize that. So what you're saying is that there should be, for every time that Biden authorized the Autopen, there should be a record of that. And he should have had to have registered his personal consent to using the Autopen. Is that basically correct?
I think to put it another way, I would say in the policy paper flow to the Oval Office, there should be a record of what documents are presented to the president when he gave his assent to the actions that are listed in those documents, whether it's a judicial nomination or it's a statutory response to Congress.
Well, I think the answer is we need to get those documents. And I just say to our friends in the media over here, you guys need to be asking for those documents, and we need to be asking for them, Mr. Chairman. We need to see those documents. And the president, the former president now, can certainly choose to release them. I'm sure they're part of his personal papers, right, Mr. Wold?
And that's correct. And the first place to start would be the staff secretary's office under President Biden.
Oh, here's the trail. If you want to know, if you want an answer to the question, did Joe Biden actually assent to the use of the Autopen, and you think of all the people he pardoned, he granted clemency to, murderers, drug dealers, child rapists. Let's find out, did he actually authorize it? There should be a record of it, is what we've learned today. Thank you for that testimony, Mr. Wold. There should be a record of it. So this is a binary question. It's not, oh, we don't know, gee, it's hard to say. No, actually, we can find out. So right now, today, I call on President Biden, former President Biden and his staff, release the documents. You have them. You know you have them. Release them.
Basically, the Democrats that were saying Biden was in incredible shape, the best shape of his life, they're not here at the hearing. They're nowhere to be seen. Also, I'm replying to Jay. He says, let me know what's up. Also, they're saying there should be some kind of a trail to, when the Autopen was used. Basically, there had to be like some kind of a registry almost of Biden, like kind of approving it in some way.
You did is legal, and if you're really not embarrassed about it and you think it was totally constitutional, release the paper flow. Show us the documents where the president authorized the use of the pen.
Scott Migat, I think, is confused about life.
for every single pardon and clemency and stay application. Let's see it. Let's see all of it. And if you won't do it, we should subpoena those documents, and we should find out the truth of who was really running the White House, because I think we can see it was not Joe Biden. Thank you all for being here today. Mr. Wold, thanks for your testimony.
Senator Kennedy.
Jay, I don't know if it is live. I think it is, but I could be wrong. Maybe it's not, but I am live. That is what for sure. We are live. And then Roro Carr says, let's get the likes up. Thank you, W. Roro. Appreciate that, buddy. Oliver Mallison is in the house. Trump is currently pardoning people convicted of fraud. Why not talk about that? Because we are, first of all, what you're saying, I don't believe is true. But depending on what you're talking about. But this is about Biden. I love how everyone on the left loves to make everything into Trump, because that's the only word that they know is Trump. TDS runs rampant in their brains. But this particular discussion happens to be about Biden.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Gentlemen, I want to try to separate policy and politics for a second. I know it's hard to do
And our main man is up, bro, Mr. Kennedy, ladies and gentlemen.
around this place, but I thought Senator Cornyn made a very good point in his opening remarks. I think Senator Schmidt made the same point that the policy here is very important. And I want to ask you your opinion on the policy. Professor, tell me briefly, I know you came to talk about Autopens, but tell me briefly about the 25th Amendment.
Can someone catch up Oliver on what's going on with the presidency of the United States?
Well, Senator, the 25th Amendment provides the process by which to implement a principle that's in the original Constitution, which is when the president's unable to exercise the powers and duties of the presidency, somebody else exercises them, starting with the vice president. The 25th Amendment sets up a process by which, if there's a question whether the president is able to do that, the vice president and the heads of the executive departments can temporarily basically put the vice president in as acting president, and then Congress ultimately decides the question.
Well, the standard, is it not, Professor? The standard is disability of the president. Is that correct?
Unable to exercise the powers and duties.
Okay.
Yes.
Here's what I would like your opinion on, and the opinion of these two gentlemen here. You have all been staffers. You've worked in government. You've had a boss. In Mr. Spicer's case, his boss was the President of the United States.
W. Mac Roar, he says, Beta! Beta! What's up, buddy?
Let's suppose the President, you were using your experience as a staffer.
We got Oliver Mollison. You guys are so effing stupid and so effing blind. It's sad. There is a lot of people. I'm reading the chat. He says there's a lot of people. Oh my God, he's lost. He's gone off the deep end, guys. Guys, save him. He's going off the deep end, guys. I don't think he knows how to swim either. Hold on, guys. Oliver says, you guys. There's a list of people convicted fraud. You guys don't care about reality. Let's talk about Biden Autopen. This hearing is about Biden Autopen. Oliver, can you read? Let us know, bro. We're here to help, man, if we can. Let us know. We'll read it for you, bro.
President. Hypothetically a president. And let's suppose the president started talking like he was from outer space. Let's suppose the president became fatigued very easily. He couldn't finish a sentence without taking a nap. Let's suppose the president, he was just physically in bad shape, mentally and physically. Mentally, he may or may not have, you're not a doctor, neurodegenerative disease, but physically you can see you could bake a Thanksgiving turkey in the time it takes him to walk across the stage. What do you think, as a member of his staff, what do you think is your moral obligation to say, wait a minute, the president can't do the job anymore? I know you're loyal folks. You believe in your president, this president, whichever president. I'm speaking hypothetically. You're loyal. You want to be a good staffer, but you also have a moral obligation. How do you reach that decision, Professor? And I'll go to each of you.
Senator, I think the first thing you would have to do in a situation like that is exercise your own judgment. How serious is this problem? Because
any president, hypothetically a president, and let's suppose the president started talking like he was from outer space. Let's suppose the president became fatigued very easily. He couldn't finish a sentence without taking a nap. Let's suppose the president, he was just physically in bad shape, mentally and physically. Mentally, he may or may not have, you're not a doctor, neurodegenerative disease, but physically you can see you could bake a Thanksgiving turkey in the time it takes him to walk across the stage.
Senator Kennedy, baby, you can bake a Thanksgiving turkey in the time it took him to walk across a stage. Wow.
What do you think, as a member of his staff, what do you think is your moral obligation to say, wait a minute, the president can't do the job anymore? I know you're loyal folks. You believe in your president, this president, whichever president. I'm speaking hypothetically. You're loyal. You want to be a good staffer, but you also have a moral obligation. How do you reach that decision, Professor? And I'll go to each of you.
Senator, I think the first thing you would have to do in a situation like that is exercise your own judgment. How serious is this problem? Because everybody has moments when they lose focus. It happens. But if somebody thinks this is a really serious problem, I think the first thing to do is the most difficult, which is to say to the president, because the 25th Amendment also provides that the president can say, I'm unable to exercise the powers and duties of my office.
And suppose the president
That would be extremely
says,
difficult, but I think it should be done.
Look, trust me, I can. And it's clear to you that he has neurodegenerative disease and he can't. What do? Do you have a moral obligation as a staff member to go to the American people and say, we've got a problem here, it may cost me my career?
Senator, I think at that point you have an obligation to talk to the vice president, who is in charge of the Section 4 process.
This is a good question, because what do? This guy's saying you have an obligation to do it, but the people are afraid to go to say that to the president or to the people that are around the president, because you'll get blown out, right? Nobody wants to hear that.
Under the 25th Amendment.
What about you, Mr. Wald? Do you have a moral obligation? I understand you want it to go away, you want to work it out with him, but you can't. When does a staffer have a moral obligation to stand up and say he can't be president anymore, or she can't be?
Well, Senator, the 25th Amendment only works if individual staffers or officers of the United States exercise that kind of moral judgment.
That's what I'm asking you.
Yeah, so, I think always, as the professor said, the presidency is an enormous burden, so it would be not one instance, it would have to be several instances of a failure to exercise judgment.
How do you make that decision? You're the staffer, I get it.
Great question. Here we go. And he's drilling down on it. I like this. Let's hear it.
Yeah. Well, I think it begins with prayer, of course. But after that, I think it's conversation with other staffers. What? And if you're unable to confront the president or to raise the issue with the vice president, you should resign.
What about you, Mr. Spicer? Do you stand up and do it and tell the truth and run, or do you have a greater obligation to your boss?
Well, luckily, I didn't have that problem.
What's up, Victor? Thank you. Appreciate it.
But I would say that you have a moral obligation as an American. As a citizen, as a human being, If the leader of the free world cannot conduct themselves to make the decisions that are critical to this country and to the world, you absolutely have a moral obligation to follow the chain of command. And if they don't act, then you must.
Do either of you gentlemen disagree with that? Professor?
I'm looking at chat here, and who is it? McAlid Fudd says, I don't understand what this hearing is about. Autopen has been used by Bush, Biden, Obama, Trump. What's the problem? The problem is, from what we're being told, the dude that was just in the White House that used the Autopen like it was drinking water, that dude apparently was not aware. From what we're told, he may not have been aware of what was being signed on his behalf.
Senator, I think acting means talking to the people who have the responsibility or in a position under the Constitution to do something.
You don't
with the
agree with
situation.
Mr. Spicer?
Senator, I'm not sure exactly what he has in mind, other than talking about talking to the people who can make the decision.
I'm just trying to ask. You've all been staffers. Suppose you go to everybody you're supposed to go to, and they all say, my advice to you is to shut up. Do you have a moral obligation as a staffer to say, look, this person can't be president of the United States. It isn't policy. He physically can't do it.
Senator Kennedy, it's not a question of
Great question. Thank you. Let's hear what they have to say.
whether a staffer has that obligation. It's whether you as an American have that obligation, and I think each and every one of us does.
Yeah, but you can see it. An American can't. Professor, what do you think?
Senator, I think there are situations under which someone in that position should speak publicly, but I also think that the views of a single individual who is not the person who is constitutionally responsible for taking measures should be considered by the public as just the views of of one individual who has some information about the subject.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Senator Tillis.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Gentlemen, thank you for being here. Actually, the fact that this is in the past kind of reminds me of that scene in Lion King where Rafiki, the andro, hit Simba on the head and said, doesn't matter, it's in the past. I hear, I could see where my Democrat colleagues would like to use that argument, but it mattered. And for me, I met President Biden as Vice President Biden when I was sworn in. He literally sworn me in 2015, and I've had several interactions with him over the years. There's no question that there was a significant degradation in his
Aquarium, see you later, bro. Are you leaving? See you, man. Have a good night. We'll see you.
his cognitive abilities. Probably the last time I spent much time with him was at a NATO summit. And I do think there are a lot of legitimate questions to be asked about who may have been tending the store, and I believe we should get to the bottom of it. But I want to look to the future. And back when this discussion was going on, I was suggesting the 25th Amendment. We know what the 25th Amendment does. Professor, I'm kind of curious about why, and with due respect to my colleague from Louisiana, this is a hell of a burden to place on a staff. Mr. Spicer, you've been in the White House. Can you imagine how heavy that would be and how unlikely it would be for you to be successful as an individual staff member? But Professor Harrison, I'm thinking more along the lines of what you see in boardrooms all the time about annual evaluations of the CEO or board members. What about the concept of something short of triggering articles?
Thank you for the super. Richard says they should ask them what if it was Trump. What was Trump? The question here is Biden was not mentally there, and he was apparently not aware of what was being signed. So explain what your question is, buddy. Thank you for the super.
The 25th Amendment, where the cabinet members, hand-selected members of the president confirmed.
If Trump used the Autopen, Trump is mentally there. Joe Biden, on the other hand, was not mentally there. Here's Exhibit A. Here is Exhibit A, ladies and gentlemen.
With the COVID, with eligible for what I've been able to do with the with the COVID, with dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death, and he's destroying Medicare.
And here is Exhibit B, where everyone tried to tell us he was in the best condition ever.
And I don't really, you know what? I don't really care. Start your tape right now, because I'm about to tell you the truth. And F you if you can't handle the truth. This version of Biden, intellectually, analytically, is the best Biden ever. Not a close second. And I've known him for years. The Brzezinskis have known him for 50 years. If it weren't the truth, I wouldn't say it. And you read the New Yorker interview.
This version of Biden, huh?
Everything we have to do with.
This version right here?
Look, if everything we have.
Those of you trying to equate Biden with Trump are the problem. This is Biden, can't speak, never came in front of a camera because he was gone. Trump, on the other hand, 100% there, knows what he's doing, strategic. Stopping 8 wars already, bro. I know you guys will never give him a W for that, but it's just the truth. And this is your best Biden ever. What if, but what if Trump did it? What if Trump used that Biden? How come you guys don't say anything about Trump? He used it too. Because he was alive, bro. He was awake. Hello?
By the Senate, maybe on an annual basis.
Are you out of your cotton picking mind?
Are you out of your cotton picking mind? You are a Trump hater and you are a beta male.
You are a Trump hater and you are a beta male.
And Satan is your daddy, woman.
Satan is your daddy, woman.
Just have to have an attestation that based on their.
Richard is back with another Superman. Hell yeah. Look at this. If you ask them if it was Trump, they'll answer so fast to get him out, and you'll see how they truly feel then. Watch, you'll see the truth. I don't understand what you mean. Please explain what you mean.
Work with the President of the United States, that he is mentally.
Lord Sky says, I'm gladly a Trump hater because he is the Antichrist. No, sir, you are a Trump hater and you are a beta male.
You are a Trump hater and you are a beta male.
And Satan is your daddy, woman.
Satan is your daddy, woman. So you are gay? So you are gay? I didn't know you were gay. How did you become gay?
Capable, fit, and the same way that we have boards make those decisions about board directors and CEOs. What would be wrong with some sort of a report or attestation to Congress from the cabinet member saying this man or woman is good to go, and it would be it would be perjury to Congress if they ended up covering up and history proved that. What's wrong with something like that as we're looking forward?
Senator, I would be, and maybe I am sort of being unduly.
W Light 564 in the chat. He says, Trump may not be perfect, but at least he's all there, figuratively speaking. Yes, sir. W Light, bro. Lord says, Trump's dad was literally evil too. Oh my God, you guys, there's this place called La La Land. And you guys love it there, bro. You just love to hang out in La La Land.
Protective.
Come back to Earth. Come back to us, guys. Come on, you can do it. Don't be
beta male. Man, be a alpha male, not a beta male.
Of the independence of the other two branches. But
well, that's sort of why I want to leave it in the. That's why I want. All I want is the cap.
Richard putting the money down, bro. Look at that, $1.99. Here he goes for another super. He says they just covered Biden because they hate Trump. They just covered Biden because they hate Trump. I think I know what you mean, but they covered for Biden. Is that what you mean? The Democrats covered for Biden because the Democrats only want a heartbeat. They don't want brain activity. They just want a heartbeat in the Oval Office. No brain activity. They wanted Biden there so bad. They bribed everyone. They lied to everyone. They told you he was in the best condition of his life. Then when everyone found out, even his own constituents found out, they tried to slam Kamala on you, who again has a heartbeat, no brain activity, couldn't explain to you what her own policies were very clearly. And when she did finally tell us about a policy, it was a policy that she copied from Trump. No tax on tips. That's the only thing anybody, right or left, can think of if you ask them what's one policy that Kamala Harris was for. One of them was no tax on tips. The other one was surgeries. What's it called? Sex surgeries, bottom surgeries or top surgeries for prisoners so they can go into opposite sex prisons.
Cabinet to truthfully attest to the fact that their boss,
she wanted to get men into women's prisons, and she did successfully.
Is of
There's the two things she ran for. One is no tax on tips, which was Trump's. The other one was sex changes for prisoners so they can migrate into the opposite sex's prison.
Sound mind and body, and unless they lie, it's not an issue.
Senator,
it's an Article 2 responsibility to report to Congress like so many other things. What's wrong with that?
I think it would be a very good idea for the president to create a process like that.
Let's look at the chat. Sam says, I just said he was an old man. No, he couldn't. I'm not. I don't know what that means. Augustine Ruiz says, what is it with your face, stupid? What is it with your face, stupid? Augustine, do we need to call ICE, bro?
My concern
Come on now.
is the thought of Congress.
Someone call
making such
ICE,
a
bro.
process mandatory, especially in light.
Well, I'm trying to figure out the consequence because arguably, I find it hard to believe that there were members of the cabinet that didn't go, you know what, we love this guy. He appointed us to this position, but he.
Ooh, I like this one. Edward Klinkenboomer says they hate Trump. They hate Trump because he's the first president ever not to accept a paycheck. He's the first president to have the border on lockdown. He's the first president ever to visit North Korea. State Line says, join our Discord. Let's party and BS. We have a fun Discord, guys. Light564 says in chat, he says, I stopped being a Democrat because I got tired of them lying to me. I voted for Trump because he made sense. I could not vote for someone that threatened to take free speech away. That's actually the main reason I switched. I recently switched as well, Light. You and I are pretty much in the same boat on that. That was one of the biggest reasons why I switched, was because they took... I thought I was in the Democrat Party because I thought it was the party of good, doing good, actual freedom of speech, freedom of expression, and all that kind of stuff. When I found out they were not democratic or doing the right thing, and they were taking away freedom of speech and all that kind of stuff, they were censoring Americans, I was like, dude, this is not what I signed up for.
He's missing a step. And they're refusing to. This is not about any one person. This country, this is about 340 million people in this country. No one of us should think that we should somehow be given a break if we're missing a step. So all I'm saying is you got to report honestly to Congress that the President of the United States, in your opinion, is absolutely demonstrated sound mind.
Jason Blaze says all these people calling Trump the Antichrist are either liberal trolling or Christians who don't know the meaning. Jason Blaze it. Exerted says, are they going to charge Harris for not invoking what Article 4 and everyone else who did nothing and are complicit? By doing nothing, we already know Harris was mentally not there. Put them all in jail. Basically for not calling out Trump, for not calling, you're saying for Kamala to go to jail or to be charged, actually, I'm sorry, Kamala to be charged for not blowing the whistle on Biden not being all there. There's something to be said.
It's like no other testimony. It'd be no different than us having them before the committee and say, is the boss okay? And if they lied, they'd be perjuring themselves. So what's the difference between that and some sort of a pro forma report that I'd be willing to subject the current president to rooms, all to believe. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Senator Cruz.
Yeah, let's go to Senator Cruz, bro. That guy was boring. Come on, man. Let's kick it up a notch. Let's go. Baba Yaga says in chat, he says Jill Biden was running the country. Yep, we're aware of that. Supposedly Dr. Jill Biden. Never been a doctor in her life.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Biden administration may go down in history as the most brazen constitutional fraud in American history. A Potemkin presidency fronted by a failing puppet with staffers behind the scenes pulling the strings. This is not political hyperbole. The American people saw it with their own eyes during the June 2024 debate.
Barbara, I agree that she's in the chat. Barbara says Democrats today are a far cry from JFK Democrats of yesteryear. Absolutely. And I like to say, because I was a Democrat very recently, I like to say the Democratic Party walked away from us. We pretty much were in the same place, but they went so far left that we were like standing there going, what the hell's going on here? And then we looked at the right, we go, damn, that kind of actually, that stuff makes sense. They're fighting to have our country invaded by the world. They're like, no, it should be free. Everyone can just run in. Yeah, open the borders. They could have won the last election if they would have just worked on basic stuff. Security of our nation, the borders, illegal immigration, crime. They were like, no, these people committing crimes, they shouldn't be in jail. But let them out. Let them hang out with us. No, let them come out and do it again. Why would you put them in jail? Let them come hang out. Let them do it again and again and again and again and again. It's like crazy. Richard with another super chat says Biden can say the N-word and they will laugh and say it was misunderstanding. But if Trump sneezes, they call him racist and impeachment. W. Richard, bro. If Trump so much as farts in the wrong direction, they will call it a threat to democracy. Right? If Trump farts in the wrong direction, it's a threat to, he's a Nazi, he's a Hitler, it's a threat to democracy. You know what, guys? That's it. Let's impeach him. W. Richard, bro. Thank you for that, man. Appreciate you.
Numerous times, Biden stood frozen behind the podium, mouth agape, eyes frozen and unblinking. When he did speak, his words were confused and disjointed. I said that night, this is the most consequential presidential debate in history because it will result in one of the two candidates being removed from the ballot. That was exactly right. And following that debate, the Democrats recognized the collapse. They pulled out their knives and took out President Biden like Caesar on the Ides of March. For all of their strutting about, protesting that they support democracy.
Baba Yaga is back. He's right. They want their USAID money launder scheme back. They sure do. And there's an H in scheme.
One of them gave a damn about democracy when they pulled Biden off the ballot and dropped Kamala Harris in without a single Democrat primary voter voting for him. And you know what? Not a single Democrat is here today because not a single one of them gives a damn about the fact that they lied to the American people for 4 years.
I think they're complicit too. The Democrats that knew about this stuff, that didn't say nothing, that knew our whole entire country, the greatest country in the world, was being run by this guy on the right here. This guy right here.
To do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
That was a sad day. Secondhand embarrassment. It was It was, as an American, we're like, dude, really?
They knew. Every one of them knew that Joe Biden was mentally not competent to do the job. The White House press secretary, she knew when she stood in front of the American people and lied over and over and over again. And they're not here because they can't defend themselves. It wasn't a surprise. For 4 years, the White House hid President Biden from Republican senators.
Rome said, you guys are saying, I'm looking at your chat, says, when I watched that live, I knew Trump was done for sure. We knew Trump was done, and we were disgraced as a country, bro. It felt like shit, even though I wanted Trump to win, and I was done with the Democratic Party by then. I was like, I had already switched by then. I wanted Trump to win. I still felt like shit because I'm an American, and to watch my current president look like this, this is still my president. Look at my president, bro. This is my president.
COVID, excuse me, with
look at my president.
Dealing with everything we have to do with.
Look at him.
Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death, and he's destroying Medicare.
He did do a damn thing.
That was our president, bro. It was sad to see, honestly, as an American. We're like, dude, this is a disgrace, bro. I'm just telling you how I felt as a person. I was like, man, this is, even though I want Trump now, I was a Democrat like a couple years prior to this debate. No joke. I wanted Trump to win. I still was embarrassed. It was a disgrace. It was sad. It was disheartening. I felt bad for Biden. I'm like, why is he even up there talking? Like, what is going on with this guy? And what's going on with the people that pushed him up on the stage to go do this, bro?
And these people should be in jail, and they should be the ones who are being held accountable. And he wants to let them all out. Military person eligible for what I've been able to do with the...
Bro.
Would not let him meet with us. He served 40 years in this body. We all know him. And they deliberately lied. And by the way, Jake Tapper had a bombshell book exposing the incredible scandal that Biden's mental decline was covered up by Jake Tapper. There's a Yiddish word, chutzpah. And that truly is chutzpah. How dare we lie and cover up what we all knew? Now, I have been asked literally 1,000 times by Texans, who was running the country? And I'm going to give you the most terrifying answer. I don't know. I genuinely don't know.
Legit.
And not a single Democrat here cares.
Legit.
The most telling proof of Biden's decline came with the signature of the president, the symbol of executive authority that was outsourced to a machine. Mr. Wold, you're a lawyer who served.
Barbara, you and I both.
Served in the White House counsel's office. You understand the gravity of presidential action.
He cemented it. It was coming. It was a long time coming. And then it just kind of hit with Biden.
Does the president's signature carry legal and constitutional weight under Article 2?
Yes.
Is the act of signing an executive order or signing a law or granting a pardon a delegable duty of the president?
So in that opinion in 2005 from OLC, they said essentially that an Autopen could be used by a subordinate, but the president's determination as to sign the document.
Yeah, Timothy, he was our president. It was sad, man. It was disappointing. It was a disgrace, bro. It was embarrassing. It was a lot of things. Zach Scott can't help his TDS. He has to say Trump no matter what, because that's the only word they know is Trump. He says, how's Trump's decline looking? A little droopy. Kind of like your mental state, Zach. Don't be a beta, bro.
Beta. Beta.
Come on now, bro. You want to see Trump? Should we put Trump? He was talking for hours this morning.
Can never be delegated.
Can that authority be
all they can say is Trump
transferred to a staffer or machine without the president's explicit authorization?
Never.
And if you look at the statistics are stunning. In
W state line, bro.
President Biden issued 78 executive orders. None were signed with an Autopen. That first year of the presidency, Biden, I suppose, was relatively lucid, and 78 executive orders he signed by hand. The second year, however, we see the Autopen emerge. The first Autopen executive order was issued on July 15th, 2022. After that day, 100% of the executive orders issued in 2022 were signed by an Autopen. In 2023, Biden issued 24 executive orders. 16 were Autopenned. In 2024, Biden issued 19. 14 were Autopenned. In 2025, Biden issued 14 executive orders. Every single one was Autopenned.
Wow.
Mr. Wald, let me ask you as a legal matter, if there's a law that's passed both houses of Congress and it goes to the White House, and a staffer autopens signing that law without the president's authorization, is that law legally passed and signed into law?
No.
If an executive order is issued and a staffer autopens it without the president's authorization, is that executive order legally binding?
No.
And if a pardon is issued from the President of the United States and a staffer autopens it without the president's authorization, is that pardon legally binding?
No.
Under the Biden White House, the ceremonial song, Hail to the Chief, was effectively replaced with Hail to the Pen.
Wow.
And it was an outright assault on democracy. And every reporter covering this ought to ask, why doesn't a Democrat care? We heard about the moral responsibilities of a staffer. How about an elected senator who knows damn well that if we get into a war and Iran is preparing to fire a nuclear weapon at the United States, that the commander-in-chief is busy playing with his Jell-O and is not competent to defend ourselves, and every member of the cabinet, the chief of staff, the press secretary, and the members of Congress who lied about this on a daily basis with the press's complicity, they are all responsible for subverting democracy.
Senator Cornyn.
I just made a note. I'm going to make a reel. I'm going to make a reel out of this because that by Senator Cruz was that was legit right there. Senator Cruz, bro, put it down, man. I got to hear that one more time.
That first year of the presidency, Biden, I suppose, was relatively lucid. That first year, there's a Yiddish word, chutzpah.
Listen to this, guys.
That truly is chutzpah. How dare we lie and cover up what we all knew?
Listen to this part.
I have been asked literally 1,000 times.
See if I can turn it up.
Who was running the country? And I'm going to give you the most terrifying answer. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. And not a single Democrat here cares. The most telling proof of Biden's decline came with the signature of the president. The symbol of
we have some people in the chat. Let me just read it. It says, Andreas says he's lying. Random says you're lying. That's a lie.
That's a lie.
All right, let's keep going. Guys, have a great night. God bless. Michael, good to have you, bro.
executive authority that was outsourced to a machine.
Listen to this.
Mr. Wold, you're a lawyer who served in the White House counsel's office. You understand the gravity of presidential action. Does the president's signature carry legal and constitutional weight under Article 2?
Yes.
Is the act of signing an executive order or signing a law or granting a pardon a delegable duty of the president?
So in that opinion in 2005 from OLC, they said essentially that an Autopen could be used by a subordinate, but the president's determination as to sign the document can never be delegated.
Can that authority be transferred to a staffer or a machine without the president's explicit authorization?
Never.
And if you look at the statistics are stunning.
This is the part that I want to hear again. This is really interesting shit right here. By the way, guys, thank you for subscribing. I'm seeing the numbers go up right here, and it's awesome. Thank you for subscribing. I'm on here every day, so I do a morning session and an evening session, and I bring you all kinds of awesome stuff live. And let's do this.
In 2021, President Biden issued 78 executive orders. None were signed with an Autopen. That first year, the
Thank you, 10th. Appreciate you. Hi, Wendy. What's up, guys? Thank you for joining.
presidency, Biden.
Wrathful says former President Biden was a mouthpiece for Kamala and Hillary Clinton.
I suppose was relatively lucid, and 78 executive orders he signed by hand. The second year, however, we see the Autopen emerge. The first Autopen executive order was issued on July 15th, 2022. After that day, 100% of the executive orders issued in 2022 were signed by an Autopen.
Damn.
In 2023, Biden issued 24 executive orders. 16 were Autopenned.
Damn.
In 2024, Biden issued 19. 14 were Autopenned. In 2025, Biden issued 14 executive orders. Mr. Wold, let me ask you.
And then not have a policy issue in fun for.
I agree. And every member of the cabinet, the chief. In 2023, Biden issued 24 executive orders. 16 were Autopenned.
Wow.
In 2024,
What the?
Biden issued 19. 14 were Autopenned. In 2025, Biden issued 14 executive orders. Every single one was Autopenned.
Wow.
Are you out of your cotton picking mind? What the?
That's amazing.
Mr. Wold, let me ask you as a legal matter, if there's a law that's passed both houses of Congress and it goes to the White House, and a staffer autopens signing that law without the president's authorization, is that law legally passed and signed into law?
No.
What the? Are you out of your cotton picking mind?
Really?
What the?
That's amazing.
If an executive order is issued and a staffer autopens it without the president's authorization, is that executive order legally binding?
No.
Damn.
That's amazing.
Here we go. Here we go.
And if a pardon is issued from the president,
Sanaa says, why don't they interview Biden and ask him if he knows about different things he signed? I'm down.
of the United States and a staffer autopens it without the president's authorization, is that pardon legally binding?
No.
What the? What the?
That's amazing.
Under the Biden White House, the ceremonial song, Hail to the Chief, was effectively replaced with Hail to the Pen. And it was an outright assault on democracy. And every reporter covering this ought to ask, why doesn't a Democrat care?
W. Marie, she says she loves Jesse Lee Peterson sound.
What the?
That's amazing.
I got you, girl.
We heard about the moral responsibilities of a staffer. How about an elected senator who knows damn well that if we get into a
Random says they did ask Biden about a lot of it. He had no memory of most of the documents signed by Autopen. Wow. Damn. Marie says he's great. LOL. Thanks for sure. 100%. I got you. Durham says items are crook and his whole family and cabinet. I think he meant Biden's are crook.
war, and Iran is preparing to fire a nuclear weapon at the United States, that the commander-in-chief is busy playing with his jello and is not competent to defend ourselves, and every member of the cabinet, the chief of staff, the press secretary, and the members of Congress who lied about this on a daily basis with the press's complicity, they are all responsible for subverting democracy.
Senator Cornyn.
Andreas in the chat says, do you guys even know what Autopen is? Okay. Wendy is saying, OMG. We're thinking the same thing, Wendy.
Professor
Rome says, Autopen in chief.
Harrison, we've talked about the mechanics of the 25th Amendment, whereby an incapacitated president.
Patrick says Biden had no idea he signed an order to shut down gas sales to Europe. Yeah, I remember that. When he was demanding Europe to stop buying from Russia. I remember that, actually. Good call, Patrick. W. Patrick.
It would be removed.
Andreas says, you didn't answer. You're asking us if we know what Autopen is.
It strikes me that ultimately...
What are you talking about?
It happened, albeit not...
Yeah, we know what Autopen is. Trump put a picture of Autopen on the wall, replacing Joe Biden's picture. He replaced it with Autopen because that was our president, was President Autopen.
Before the end of President Biden's full term. What we saw happen after the disastrous debate in the summer of 2024 is basically an exercise of the powers of the 25th Amendment by the political elites in the Democratic Party to get President Biden not to run again and to substitute Kamala Harris.
Andreas wants to know what Autopen is. Let's show her, guys, what's Autopen. This, Andrea, if you're wondering what Autopen is, this is it right here. Here you go. Trump has the presidential pictures, and so here you see Trump. Let me make it smaller so you can see it. I know, it might be a little small on your screen. Here are the last three presidents. The current president here. The prior president, Autopen. That's the Autopen Andrea is wondering about. And then the president prior to Autopen was Trump. So this is the progression of our presidency. Trump, Autopen, Trump.
For him as the Democratic nominee for president. So, Mr. Spicer, maybe the mechanics were a little bit different. Maybe the timing was not the same. But doesn't that demonstrate the capacity of the leadership of the Democratic Party, of the Biden family, of the senior staff and the president's administration to be able to convince the president that he no longer was capable of serving and needed to step down?
Senator, the left and their friends in the media like to...
Andreas says, does Autopen mean he didn't approve it? Autopen means he didn't actually physically sign it. And they're saying here in these discussions that it looks to be that Biden had no idea about the Autopen being used. He should approve the use of it. However, apparently he didn't have any idea it was being used, and he doesn't remember the things that were being signed by the Autopen.
To throw around terms like threats to democracy, constitutional crisis. And if we don't have confidence in the leader of the free world making decisions, that truly is the definition of a constitutional crisis and the threat to democracy. So for all of these folks to stand up here and use those phrases over and over again and then not have the desire to show up, to understand what's happening, to stand up at the time, as we discussed earlier, whether it was a staffer or a cabinet member, to literally avoid going to the Oval Office. And in the case of the media, to avoid the questions that were so clearly obvious to the rest of America, shows that they were more concerned with power and preserving that power and an agenda than they were at really caring about the Constitution and democracy.
I agree that that is the clear conclusion. And obviously they decided to do it only at such a time as that ability to wield power was coming to an end. If, in fact, President Biden had remained the nominee of the Democratic Party.
Andreas, that's what this hearing is for. They're trying to get to the bottom of it, and they want to eventually, if they're, I think they may have some evidence, and they're trying to get more evidence and figure out what happened.
And then ran against and lost to President Trump. These folks would be out of luck and out of power, so they decided to act under that circumstance.
Senator, you look at a lot of these decisions, and it was pretty clear that there was a handful of folks at the top of the Biden administration and Biden White House that had been around him for decades.
Durham Tutton says, fantastic photo there. Thanks for showing us this. Which one? The Autopen one?
Where all of that information funneled. So I mentioned before, there are approximately 25 senior White House staffers that have the rank of assistant to the president. Those are the highest White House staffers. I would bet that only a handful of them ever interacted with President Biden on a daily basis. The rest of them had their communications funneled through other people. If the press secretary, the communications director, whose job it is to speak on behalf of the principal in lieu of them being able to talk or communicate, don't have access to those individuals at the senior-most level, then what good are they? And I would argue that, well...
Damn, Rome, that's a good one. I'm going to use that one, bro. Look at Rome. W Rome, bro. Look at Rome 13 in the chat. He says, Joe was busy playing Biden Seek. Damn, bro. You brought back memories in the streets, running around, playing hide and seek. Biden Seek, ladies and gentlemen, Biden Seek.
Many times we heard people in the press and on the left accuse the Trump White House of quote-unquote lying.
By the way, guys, if you want to call in, I'm happy to take callers. Feel free to let me know, and State Line will help you guys get into our Discord to call in. Let me know.
For them to go out there and talk about the president's stance on issues, what President Biden thought or didn't think on a personnel issue, a policy issue, when in fact they had never spoken to him, is in fact the epitome of lying.
One of the most consequential actions or inactions of the Biden presidency during 4 years was his failure.
Andreas, we already have evidence of Joe Biden not remembering one very important document that was signed by Autopen. So there is already evidence, but they're working through stuff, and they're gonna find out more. Nice try, though. I saw you trying to corner us into a whole thing of, oh, so there's no evidence, so this is all
years to secure our southern border.
Don't be a loser.
Deal with illegal immigration.
Stop being a loser, bro.
I have in my hand examples of the Biden immigration proclamation.
This is how the process works. It starts like this. Look at you that you just want to put your head in the sand and not even go through the process.
And executive orders, and there are a lot of them, as you know. They also include things like granting temporary protected status to large populations of immigrants, particularly from countries in Central America.
Royal Ramble, we already talked about Epstein files, bro. It's getting old. You need to pick a new point. We already talked about 100 million times. If the Epstein files were so important to you and you're so in love with the Epstein files, where were you when your other presidents did nothing about it? Trump, you should give Trump a W for being the only president to ever do anything about the Epstein files. Case closed.
Rescinding Trump administration policies when it came to enforcing our laws at the border, granting parole, which is essentially a permission slip to enter the country in a way that would otherwise be illegal. And, Mr. Chairman, I'd ask unanimous consent that this document be made part of the record as an example of the sort of consequential border.
Zach, you're blatantly lying.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
Security and immigration related.
You're blatantly lying, and then you're turning around and calling someone else a liar. You're doing exactly what the Democratic Party does. It's called projection.
Measures that President Biden purported to sign.
Without objection. Mr. Wald, I do want to follow up on a couple of things with you and Mr. Harrison and also Mr. Spicer. Under the Presidential Powers Act, we could have a special access request, correct, to the archivist?
Again, let me know, guys, if you guys want to call in. Happy to take a caller and talk to you guys.
To find out.
Give you a platform to have your voice heard, Charlie Kirk style. Give you a mic, and other people can hear you.
What assent was actually given by Joe Biden on the Autopen. Is that your understanding?
If they kept records,
right.
Yes.
Right. Well, I think that will be something we will be pursuing.
Love Mr. Schmidt, bro. Love him, bro. He's amazing.
Professor Harrison, I wanted to ask you, sort of on the Article 1 branch's role, and I think I understand your concern when you say the president could do something. You're dealing with sort of a separation of powers issue is sort of what I'm reading into that. So the Article 1 branch can impeach for high crimes and misdemeanors. Should the Constitution be amended, in your view, to deal with this incapacitation? So impeachment would be a vehicle beyond just the 25th Amendment, but impeachment would be a vehicle to deal with these issues.
Senator, there's a long-standing question about whether impeachment is appropriate for inability. There's been questions right at the beginning of the Republic about a couple of judges who were in very poor shape. Not that they committed crimes; they were impeached and removed. And there were doubts as to whether impeachment was appropriate for that because there was problem. Their problem was age and inability. So you're absolutely right that there's a doubt right now whether the impeachment process, and it goes back a long, long way, whether the impeachment process is a way of dealing with inability as opposed to misconduct. It's clearly primarily directed at misconduct, and I think
Fucking state line, bro. Love it, bro.
I think that if members of Congress are thinking about an additional constitutional amendment, and maybe they should be, they should think both about adapting the impeachment process to inability, which, as I say, right now it's not clear it's properly used in those situations, or creating yet some other.
Miko Freeman, you're missing the point. You're, again, doing what other people did. You're comparing Trump to Biden, and that's not the case. Trump, if he uses Autopen, is aware of it and approved it, and he knows what was signed. Biden, on the other hand, when he was asked, did not even remember the document that he signed or what it was that he signed. Yeah, he literally didn't remember it. He was asked on the spot. He didn't remember it. That's the problem. Biden was not there mentally. So for you to say, oh, if Trump and Biden and it's the same thing, so this is hypocrisy. No, it's not. But Trump is all there. Biden, no.
Other political.
This is your president, bro. Here. How many times do we have to show this video, guys?
For what I've been able to do with the with the COVID, with dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if been able, with.
And the way Trump looks at him, look at this, bro.
Dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death, and he's destroying Medicare.
Those of you comparing the two are in woke land. You guys are in la la land, woke land. It's not the same. Trump knew what he was signing. Biden didn't. Biden could barely even speak. The Democrats that knew about Biden should get busted for that, for knowing that, dude, the greatest country in the world was run by a guy that couldn't speak or walk. Senator John Kennedy said it himself. He said, you could bake a turkey in the time it takes Trump to walk across a stage.
Process to deal with presidential inability if lawmakers think that the political process that's in sections 3 and 4 of the 25th Amendment is inadequate.
W. Diane. It's woke land, Diane.
The last thing I'll say,
La la land, woke land.
just as a policy.
Come back to reality, guys. Wake up.
Are you out of your cotton picking mind? Are you out of
Come
your
on.
cotton picking mind?
Come on now.
Matter, and this is not speaking on the legal question. I do think it's important that
literally zombie land, bro.
That any decision
President Trump has a brain, exactly,
about presidential inability remain something that's decided by politically accountable people, that it's treated as a political decision. It can't just be a technocratic decision.
Mr. Spicer, you've criticized the corporate media and legacy media folks for sort of lying down here or being complicit because of their, whether it's Trump derangement syndrome or whatever the reason was. Who specifically do you think gets a gold star for lying most profusely and just sort of continuing to cover this up over the years?
Sir, that would be like a photo finish. There'd be a lot that would probably right there at first place. They're all culpable. I mean, I read some of the headlines to the committee earlier, the Washington Post, CNN, NBC, where they, without evidence, to use their phrase, went after President Trump's physical and mental acuity, and yet failed to ask similar questions of the White House press office publicly. They failed to cover the stories. I don't think that there's a winner. I think they're all losers.
Thank you. And then we'll sort of wrap up here with Professor Harrison and Mr. Wold. So moving forward, we mentioned maybe possibly amending the Constitution or further exploring whether incapacitation is an impeachable, if impeachment's a remedy. What other, in your experience, what other things moving forward could be done to make sure that this scenario that we saw play out over the last 4 years never happens again?
Senator, I think the most important thing that can be done is something you're doing right now, which is draw public attention to this problem, and so give presidents an incentive to take steps that will reassure the people that they are sound and able to perform their functions.
Mr. Wald?
I would agree with the professor and just add that there should be some accountability for the staffers and the officers of the United States who acted to conceal and to cover up the president's incapacity from the American people. One other issue that's tied up in sort of this bundle of incapacity, impeachment, is also succession, and that's something so many have written about extensively over the years. We are very blessed that we have never had a double vacancy with the president and the vice president, either because of terror attack or misconduct. That's something that legal scholars have said for many decades, that Congress really has to work on that. And I would add, yes, in fact, that's something you all should take up with some seriousness.
May I say spontaneously, yes, please?
Okay. Well, I want to thank the witnesses for your testimony here today. Written questions for them may be submitted for the record until June 26th at 5 p.m. And with that, this hearing is adjourned. Thank you.
Nice.
Good morning.
Nice.
I'd like to welcome everyone to this
branch. Even their apologies today are framed in a way that absolve them from responsibility for this crime against the American people. They apologize for it's deeply disappointing but not surprising.
Section 4 gives the
absence speaks volumes. Thank you. I do want to begin by expressing my sincere gratitude to Chairman Grassley for granting me the privilege of co-chairing this committee with my esteemed colleague, Senator Cornyn.
All right, let's check something else out here.
Today's video, we have breaking news. A U.S. Marshal and an illegal migrant was shot during an immigration raid. Secondly, the president just signed an executive order regarding H-1B visas. And finally, we have an update regarding the government shutdown, which includes more nonsense and more threats from Hakeem Jeffries. So why don't we start with that?
With us, it's the opposite. And
It's a great bill. We don't need any more. And I want to just say from the beginning, our message has been very simple. We will not be extorted on this crazy plot of theirs. They've never done this before. Nobody has. You always vote for an extension. Chuck Schumer and the Senate Democrats need to vote for the clean, bipartisan CR and reopen our government. It's got to be reopened right now. We're not doing that. They are the obstructionists. And the reason they're doing it is because we're doing so well. We're doing well all over the world. We're doing well with the close to $20 trillion that I just told you about. It will be that number, but even if you
do their jobs on Capitol Hill, which is fund the government, keep it open just like we come to work every day. We take an oath to protect and uphold the Constitution. They should be doing the same. We don't want to get involved in a political component. We're tired of being political pawns on a chessboard for either party to be used as pawns.
What do you think of what the Democrats are arguing, which is that they need to keep going on this because they have to get health care subsidies extended? They're gonna run out, and they need folks to get this money. Bernie Sanders says 50,000 people a year could die if they lose access to health care.
Yeah, well, that's for political negotiators to negotiate, and for them to negotiate, I think they've made their point. So it's time for them to return to the bargaining table, address these issues. But passing a continuing resolution is the opinion of the union, and allow folks to address these issues as they should. This partisanship doesn't work out well for the frontline federal workforce across the country.
Yeah, he's spot on.
Furloughed as part of the government shutdown, who have not been furloughed or have pushed a bill.
To dig in, take a listen.
Some Republican senators have pushed a bill that would pay government workers who have not been furloughed as part of the government shutdown. Those who have been furloughed would still be without pay. Is this something you would support?
I'm not going to pit some of my government employees against other government employees. I think that just gives the president more leverage to really make the situation worse and treat some government employees with incredible disdain. We've already seen a lot of government employees fired during the shutdown who didn't need to be fired. This is an administration that's very hostile to government employees. I have a lot of those folks in my state, and I'm not going to turn my back on any of them.
Well, if you're not going to turn your back on any of them, then vote to get the government back open and then have the fight that you want to have. It's really interesting because it doesn't make sense to me. If you feel so convicted in this, get the government open so you can bring, especially Senator John Fetterman. Here's what he had to say today.
Are you surprised that vote after vote, it's just been 3 Democrats time and again who voted for this bill? And does that surprise you?
Yeah, it's Groundhog Day, you know, and I'm just saying, and it's not entertaining. That's a great movie, but this is shitty. And now it's like now real damage is going to, are now touching the lives of regular Americans, and we all lose, and it's embarrassing to our allies and to our enemies abroad.
Your Republican colleagues have proposed nuking the filibuster to force the government to reopen. What do you?
Yeah, of course. Carve it out for that. Absolutely. We ran on that. We ran on killing the filibuster. Now we love it. You know, it's like carve it out so we can move on.
Yeah, it's interesting to continue to see Senator Fetterman say things like this. I mean, I think it's only a matter of time where they find another way to get rid of him. And it may not be the political route, if you guys catch what I'm saying here, because he continues to contradict is open. Take a listen.
I'd love to meet with them. I just want them to open up the country first. You know, the country is so hot right now, and they've never voted against, you know, continuation. They've never voted against. They've never done that. They're doing this because they have Trump derangement syndrome. But I would love to meet. I would like to meet with both of them. But I set one little caveat. I will only meet if they let the country open. They have to let the country open. The people want to go back to work. They want to be served. They need the services of some people, and a lot of people need the money, the payroll. So I'll do it as soon as they open up the country. I'd like to meet.
But there's only one problem. They don't want to open the government. They want to speak first. And when they speak, they have demands that they want to be met. And these demands are something that should be addressed after the fact. Okay, now let's go to this next clip. This is the president really telling everybody exactly the status of Chuck Schumer, okay? He believes Chuck Schumer is done politically. It's over for him, and he actually feels sorry for him. Take a listen.
But he would be, I would say he would be the leader of the party. It's not Schumer. Schumer's shot. He's shot. This poor guy, I feel sorry for him. I've known him for a long time, but he's I think he's mentally gone. He's been beat up by young, radical lunatics. And I think Chuck Schumer is, he's gonzo. I really do. I think he's probably not going to run. It shows that he's losing in every poll. Now, this is...
I don't know of anybody that likes Chuck Schumer. Nobody on either side.
It's hard. You know, he wants to...
He's Dunsky, bro.
Meet with me. It's sort of hard to meet with a guy after I make a statement like that, but I'm just giving you the facts. I think Chuck is probably finished.
Speaking of Hakeem Jeffries, it was reported earlier this morning that a pardoned Capitol rioter was arrested last weekend for allegedly threatening to kill House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. These were court documents that CBS News was able to gather. And I guess the text messages read that he had planned to eliminate Hakeem Jeffries when the top House Democrat spoke at an event in New York City on Monday. And the good news here is he was arrested. He's being prosecuted. And that's what you would expect, right? Well, if you were to listen to what Hakeem Jeffries had to say in reaction, you think he would be applauding law enforcement for doing the right thing. No, he didn't. He blamed MAGA and Trump supporters as extremists. Take a listen.
Well, that's not clear, and that, is for people to judge the credibility of that response. At the end of the day, here in America, we're living in a moment of extreme political violence. And that impacts every single person in public service and the people that we are all working hard to represent.
So maybe stop calling Trump a fascist, a Nazi, and Hitler.
But we will not be intimidated. We will continue to show up and stand up and speak up for the American people, to improve their quality of life, to address the extremism that is being unleashed on everyday Americans by this administration all across the country. We will not bend. We will not break. We will never bow down. And when it comes to these extremists out there, you better watch how you talk when you talk about me.
Yeah, see, Jeffries lacks authenticity at the highest level. But hey, you better watch what you say about him, because he might have something to do about it. He might have something to say about it. He might come after you, Who knows? I just don't know where he was going with that. You'd think he'd, applaud the law enforcement agencies for doing their job, right? And keeping him safe. But no, there's never a moment that Democrats will do the right thing. They always have to make it about the president and, of course, people who support the president by calling us extremists. This position from the president. Well, it didn't stop him from signing this executive order raising the fees. Take a look.
President, one of the most abused visa systems in our current immigration system has been the H-1B non-immigrant visa program. This is supposed to allow highly skilled laborers who work in fields that Americans don't work in to come into the United States of America. What this proclamation will do is raise the fee that companies pay to sponsor H-1B applicants to $100,000. This will ensure that the people they're bringing in are actually very highly skilled and that they're not replaceable by American workers. So it'll protect American workers, but ensure that companies have a pathway to hire truly extraordinary people and bring them to the United States to work.
We need workers. We need workers. We need great workers. And this pretty much ensures that that's what's going to happen. I think, Sean, do you agree with that?
Well, they're $100,000 per year. So the whole idea is no more will these big tech companies or other big companies train foreign workers. They have to pay the government $100,000, then they have to pay the employee. So it's just not economic. If you're going to train somebody, you're going to train one of the recent graduates from one of the great universities across our land, train Americans, stop bringing in people to take our jobs. That's the policy here, $100,000 a year for H-1B visas, and all of the big companies are on board. We've spoken to them about the gold card.
They love it. They love it. They really love it. They need it.
Now, if you listen carefully, this is going to generate a lot of money for the federal government. If you think about it, let's do the math. In last year, there were 780,000 applications that were submitted For this year, it's been 479,000, and next year it's 336,000. The cap is 85,000. Okay, so if they just do the cap alone, so 85,000 times 100,000, how much is that exactly? Well, let's take a look. 85,000 times 100,000. That gives us
wait a minute. Do we have a
billion.
Do we have a caller? Do we have a? Who's calling in? I must have missed it in the chat. Who called in? There you go. On there. What? Let's see. Hello, hello. You are live. Hello. Are you there?
Hello? Hey.
Are you Andres?
Yeah, that's me.
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm just calling to see how you're so confident in your Autopen ideas.
Oh. What do you mean? What am I confident about that you're curious about?
You're so confident that Biden didn't approve those executive orders. Well, we have no evidence to suggest he didn't approve anything.
I didn't say I'm so confident. I'm saying that this is a hearing for that, and that's what we should be looking at. If it's true what people are saying, that he's not aware, then we should look into it.
I agree, but what evidence do we have to suggest that?
We don't know. That's what will come next in the process. We have people that have said that they've talked to Biden and that he did not.
The people is Johnson, right? Who else is making the claim?
I don't remember. But
So
I'm not
we
the
have
one
an
doing the
entire-
hearing. I'm not the one that's doing the hearing. I'm a spectator, just like you.
So we have an entire meeting dedicated to something we don't even know exists or has happened.
Yeah, we do. We have a president that was not mentally there based on what everyone in the whole world has seen. And we have supposedly Johnson or whoever else it may be, we don't know at this point, that don't know if he was aware of what he was signing. So that's a big problem. And that's something that we got to get to the bottom of. I agree with the hearing. You don't think it's important as an American? You don't think it's important?
I think things are very important, but I just want to make sure where we're standing. Right now, you're saying we have no evidence to suggest Biden didn't approve those signings.
I don't know if we have evidence. I'm not saying that I know either way. Let's see what they're saying in the chat here. Because see what they're there was a Democrat who said, someone says there was a Democrat that said he was approving the pen but did not what? Okay, so hold on, bro.
I'm not disagreeing with any of our conclusions, assuming these things are correct. The issue I'm having here is the amount of confidence we have on one side to suggest he didn't approve these things when, as you said, we haven't seen evidence yet. This is my issue.
The confidence that we have is not that he for sure was not aware. We're saying we need to figure that out. The confidence that we do have, that I think maybe you're talking about, that's bugging you, is the reality that Joe Biden was our president and was not able to make complete sentences and could not even walk in the proper direction at times. Stumbled over himself, and forget about walking. The guy couldn't even put his thoughts together on the debate stage. Never mind everywhere else, and he was non-existent at all. We didn't even know what he was doing. Whereas right now, you can complain that you hear about Trump maybe too often, or he talks a little more than you'd like him to talk. But we would rather hear more from our president. If we want to, we can turn the TV on and we can turn it off if we don't. But he's there telling you how he feels, right?
I
mean, what's
I'm
wrong
not
with
interested.
that? Do you agree? Do you agree that Biden was mentally slipping hard at? Do you agree that he was slipping hard?
I don't know about slipping hard, but yeah, people age and they're not as fast as they used to. We can see this with Trump as well. I mean, he stumbles.
If you're gonna say he's the same as Trump, you're tripping. You're saying that his mental acuity, you're saying Biden was mentally there as much as Trump is right now? Is that what your claim is?
I'm saying Biden is way more mentally there than Trump ever was in the past presidency. I mean, even we had to cope.
Bro.
We had to cope so hard that Trump is a good communicator.
You are literally, as I said, you are woke nation.
Here's the question.
You are in La La Land, bro. You're in La La Land, bro. Where are you, dude? Come back to the real world. You're saying Biden is more there. Hold on. You're saying Biden is more there than Trump ever was?
Yes.
Wow.
Wait, can you answer me a question? What is the weave?
Wow.
What is the weave?
Wow.
Are you gonna answer that?
Wow. No, I mean, you're talking about a weave. You're talking about a conversational strategy or whatever you're talking about.
This is a coping mechanism we use to pretend Trump's a good communicator when he isn't. He'll ramble on in conversations and interviews about random things, and then at some point he'll backtrack to it as if anything he said was related to it.
You don't understand it maybe because of your lack of an experience, but your lack of experience. But that's what Trump does is he discusses what he wants to do in different ways. He gets to the point that he wants to get to, but he goes around and does different things with his conversation. And I, coming from sales for more than half my life, understand the way he talks. Maybe you don't, but that's okay. That may be a lack of experience. But Trump saying that Biden was mentally there more than Trump is right now or ever was is very disingenuous in my opinion. Very disingenuous, and you're either trolling. You're either trolling or you don't know any better. Either one, you're far off. Now, random just joined.
How about this?
Hold on. You saying what you said. Hold on. I'm sorry, bro, but you saying what you said, it kind of like undercuts everything that's coming from you. But hang on a second. Wait a second, bro. Hold on. This is my show. Hang on. Random just joined the call. Let's see what he has to say.
I am just very curious as to how you could possibly say that Biden was a better president than Trump when Biden couldn't complete a single sentence. On any debate he ever had, on any interview he ever had, he struggled to complete a single sentence. Nobody ever claimed that Trump was a great communicator. Trump is a great businessman. Hold on. No, let me finish. Trump is a great businessman, is what he is. Yep. And that's what this country needs to be run like, is a
just to be
business.
Clear, you made a claim. The claim you made is that we didn't say he's a good communicator. The host did.
All right, well then he misspoke because Trump is not a great communicator. Does he eventually get his point across? Yes, he does. Did Biden ever eventually get his point across? No, he did not.
How about this? How about we just read like some sort of Trump conversation, some Trump speech?
Okay,
how about we just read one?
Let's do the exact same thing with Biden as well.
Sure, I agree.
Let's start with the part where Biden says he beat Medicare.
Let's start with that.
You want to do a speech or you want to do debate? I'm talking about a speech.
That was a debate.
This is his debate.
I don't want to do a speech. Let's do a debate. Not where he gets to read off of a piece of paper or a teleprompter, because that's what you were saying is that Trump has to have a teleprompter or he can't speak either, right?
I never said that. I never made that claim.
All right, then I mistake you for somebody else did. Somebody else definitely said that.
My claim was,
let's not use a speech. Let's use a debate where he has to just, think with his own brain and he doesn't have to just read words off of a piece of paper.
I definitely agree with that, and that makes sense because if there's a teleprompter, then the dude can easily read, and he
they both can.
Yeah, but
they both can read. And one of them had to have a teleprompter, or you ended up with What we did is we took we beat Medicaid.
Exactly. That's why it makes sense to do an actual debate.
So
Here's a
Trump
debate.
might ramble.
Should I play it?
Trump might ramble, but eventually he gets
Rambling
his
is
point across, and at least he is speaking words.
This is poor communication skills. If you have to ramble in the middle of your talking point, this isn't effective. It may be effective in practice. Wait, this is my point though, that he's not good either. He's bad. He's worse.
He's not bad.
He's not only good. He's not only good. In my opinion, he's not only good. He's way better than Biden. And you said Biden was better than Trump ever was. That's what your claim was. You're saying Biden now. You literally said this. We have it on the video.
Yes.
You said Biden now is better than Trump ever was.
Yes, Biden's presidency was more effective at communicating.
Yeah. Hello.
Okay. I thought I hung up.
No.
During Biden's presidency, he was more effective at communicating than Trump was during his presidency. Yes, that's the claim I'm making.
Yeah, I beg to differ. And I also would say that Biden almost never communicated with us, with the American people, whereas Trump did. Trump does every single day or multiple times a day.
I don't understand this perspective. You're saying Biden he never communicates to the public? Is that what you're saying to me?
I'm saying he rarely did.
What is rarely?
I'm saying in relation to every other president I've ever experienced.
Now maybe I could be wrong here, but the idea that Biden was less. You're saying just to be clear, you're saying someone like LBJ had more conversations with the public than Biden did?
I wasn't around for LBJ. Were you?
No, I'm asking a question.
So I'm saying I said that Biden. I said that worse than any president I've ever experienced. Those are my words.
You're saying he wasn't communicating to the public. I'm asking, what can you name other presidents outside of Trump who are communicating more to the public than Biden was?
I don't understand. Say that again. Say that again.
Which presidents communicated to the public more than Biden?
Bill Clinton, Obama.
Okay, so you
can go down the list, bro. Like almost Bush. The other Bush. You can go not almost every single president spoke to the American people way more than Biden did.
Let's verify this. How do we prove this?
I'm telling you from my experience.
Yes, your experience is great, but I'm asking, what evidence can we look at to prove this claim you're making?
You can go. It's obvious with Biden. It's obvious. He rarely was ever out there. He was almost, you never heard from Biden talking to the American people. The only time you had Biden, hang on, bro. The only time you had Biden like on like, let's say live or speaking or anything like that was when he had to go to like United Nations where the guy fell asleep, literally fell asleep. At the United Nations on TV, we're watching him snooze.
Again, I'm asking the question again. What evidence do we have to make? Like, where can I look at to make sure you're correct or like incorrect? Where can I look at this?
I would say that you're calling into my show and we're discussing it, and I'm making a point about it, and it's not something where we can go and pull like every single president's conversations up and get like specific evidence on it. But
you're
I could try doing a search. Yeah, I am.
Well, do it, sir. I appreciate a search.
Well, you made a claim too. You made a claim too. You said that Biden. You said that Biden now is mentally better than Trump ever was. Right.
And I would. And
so where's your proof of that? Where's your proof of that?
I provided it. I told you. I have proof. Are you finished?
Hang on, random just joined.
I have proof. I have proof.
He's not going to finish. I
I honestly don't care to let you finish because you
hold on. Let Rand. Let's see what.
Nonsense. But go ahead. No, let him finish. Go ahead. I
Okay.
have proof
Go
though.
ahead. All right. Go ahead.
Okay. So yes, I asked you to have some sort of ability to prove this. I was willing to do the same thing. I brought some idea. My idea was to go use a speech, compared two speeches together. This was the evidence I was willing to use. So I did have something.
Okay, well, I have other proof.
We're saying proof. We're saying that a speech is not fair because he had. Well, I mean, it's fair, but a speech is where there was an actual like a script he could read from. We're looking. We're talking about debate.
Okay,
I have a debate on the screen right now. I have a debate on the screen right now.
How about we just look at some numbers, because numbers are the best thing, right? Everybody's good with math. So Joe Biden, trust me, you can add, right? You can do simple addition and subtraction, right? Okay, so then we're good. Joe Biden had 37 press conferences for his entire presidency. 37. Trump had 37 press conferences his first 3 months in office.
Okay.
There you go.
Yes. Wait,
How is that not talking to the public?
Did you guys forget the?
He talks to the public every other day.
The question I asked was, outside of Trump, who had more conversations with the public than Biden?
Look at your screen. Look at the screen I have up. I just searched it. You want evidence? Here you go.
Yeah.
Joe, it's on your screen right now. Joe Biden, it says, I'm reading from the screen. Joe Biden has engaged in fewer press conferences and media interviews than many recent presidents, though the total number of presidential appearances varies depending on how and when the communications are measured. Compared to other presidents, Biden has used a different communication style that focuses more on informal interactions and uses daily press briefings to convey information. And it continues, and we can keep going down.
I see the over. How about you click the link, the little paperclip next to it.
I did. New York Times, Google data, American Presidency Project. Those are the sources.
Let me see.
If you are under the impression that Biden spoke as much as other presidents to the people, you're on a good one, bro. You're on a real good one.
Go to the Axios article.
But it's all good. It's part of that.
Go to the Axios. I'm trying to learn. Go to the Axios article. What does it say there?
Here. Here. Look at Biden compared to every other president. Number of press conferences and media interviews by president. Look, Biden is by far the lowest. Not even close. It's right on your screen.
Media interviews, yeah. But do you remember what the AI said? That there's informal practices that are being used as well?
It doesn't matter. This is what I said. The interviews, the press conferences is him speaking to the American people like that. He's done it way less. If he's done way less press conferences, in general, everyone as an American, if you were awake for the 4 years that Biden was president, you would also agree, if you didn't have TDS, you would also agree that Joe Biden did way less press conferences than any other president alive. How old are you, by the way?
27.
Okay, so you've experienced fewer presidents than I have. I'm not like saying anything about your age. I'm just saying factually you've had less presidents than I have as an adult or as a growing man or whatever you want to call it, but as an adolescent or whatever. But if you were awake during President Biden's presidency for the last 4 years, it's very, very clear to you, bro. It should be very clear to you that he very rarely spoke to us in relation to how often other presidents did.
Okay, I think that's a good claim. But again, this analysis only takes into account as media interviews and press conferences. I think there are other ways that are not being necessarily measured.
So you're still not giving into that? Is that what you're saying?
Again, I'm not taking a hard position. What I'm telling you is that
you took a hard position. You made me provide proof, and I just did.
Yes,
You
I
took a
did.
hard position.
Yes, I did.
You
That's
said,
great. No,
show me the
my
proof. Now, hold on. Stop
That way, a
interrupting me.
hard position isn't.
Hold on. You asked me for proof. I provided you with proof, and now you're still saying, yeah, but, right? Let me just get this straight.
No.
What?
I never had a hard position. My whole position was to find out if this claim was true. That's a hard position. That's verifying.
Right.
I never took a stance that he was.
So I started by telling you.
Wasn't.
I started with those two things. One is I said if it was my experience, I said if like me you were awake for the presidencies, then you would know that just by being in the know, just by being aware yourself as a human being. As an American, if you care about the country and you're listening to presidents speak and you're looking for those press conferences, or when any time the president was speaking, I said, speaking to the American people specifically, right? So you would know that. The second thing you said, well, I need to see proof. Now I pulled up proof, which is right on your screen, and now you're saying, yeah, but.
What I'm saying is that this analysis is very particular, and the AI that you use to justify this said that this doesn't necessarily
AI
count
that I
for
use
everything.
is Google, bro. I just did a Google search.
That's fine. I don't have no problem with
And I
using
clicked
AI
on, hold on. And I clicked on the article that you told me to click on. You said, click on this. I clicked on it. Then you said, click on Axios. Then I clicked on it. Your own Axios is telling you this and you're still denying it. So this is what this is what we talk about. This is what we talk about when we say you have Trump derangement syndrome. You're looking at facts in your face. And if you were experiencing the presidency for yourself, you would understand it.
Wait, what part of this? When did I deny this?
You just said, yeah, but something else.
Yeah, I'm trying to offer nuance to the conversation here. The thing you referenced said what I am saying. I'm repeating what you read. I'm not denying that he necessarily had less, I'm not denying he had less press conferences.
It sure sounds like you are. It sure sounds like you are.
I never denied it. You can go through the
entire. So what are you saying now? What are you saying now that I provided you the evidence? Now what?
What I'm telling you is what the AI told you, that this is this particular analysis that doesn't measure everything, and that's fine. It's not necessarily an issue, but my whole position here was for you to verify the claim that you're making. I never took a hard position that he did or didn't speak to the public more than other presidents. That was never my claim.
So the nuance that you're talking about is the last sentence that the AI said. It said, compared to other presidents, Biden has used a different communication style that focuses more on informal interactions and uses daily press briefings to convey information. Now, who knows what that means exactly, but speaking to exactly what I said was the amount of times that he spoke to us, the American people. So anyway, I appreciate you calling in, bro. It's just a straight reality, bro. The guy barely talked to us, and when he did, he wasn't all there. It's just reality. You got to admit that. And if you can't, it's okay. I know what it is. When you guys hate Trump, it's like a religion that you cannot like.
To be clear, I didn't call to talk about whether he was engaging with the public or not. I talked about the Autopen. That was the whole point of my conversation, that we have no evidence to suggest he didn't approve what was Autopenned. Just to be clear,
you were just talking about Autopen. You were trying to pin me on something, and I didn't say that we had anything specific about an Autopen. I said I'm like a spectator. I'm like you. We're spectators. We're watching. We're just watching. Hearing. It's a hearing about the use of the Autopen and how it applies.
A hearing that you said had no evidence.
I didn't say it had or didn't have evidence. Don't put words in my mouth. I said I don't know what the evidence is, and we're working on it. Looks like they're starting the conversation. So they might have evidence that we don't know about.
Okay, but
do you agree?
It's entirely possible, but again,
thank you.
Why are we having a meeting if we don't know what the particulars are already? We should already have.
Because that's how the discussions start. You have a meeting.
No.
You talk about it, and then you say, okay, well, looks like this is something we should look into, and that's how these discussions begin.
Looking
Like,
into something means
why
we already have.
let me ask you this. Why are you so against the government having a meeting to look into this situation?
I have no problem with governments looking into anything. My
It
issue is
sounds
that
like you
why are we having a
do.
meeting? No, my position is why are we having a meeting when we don't have evidence for this? This is my
We
issue.
do have evidence.
What is the evidence? Is it Johnson's
The
claim?
evidence, well, no, the evidence is a lot of doctors' claims. The lack of medical information while he was president, it would appear very greatly to any person that knows what they're looking at, and even some that don't, that he was not competent to be president at least 3 of the 4 years that he was there. And if the Autopen was being used by somebody that wasn't competent, then he could not have approved it if he was not competent. Which means everything that was signed would not be valid. It's all illegal. It doesn't mean anything.
The Autopen doesn't matter then. But you're saying if he's incompetent, would he approve? No, just to make sure I'm understanding what you're saying. You're saying because he's incompetent, the Autopen now becomes meaningless, right?
He has to approve the vast majority of the documents at which the Autopen was used on.
Okay, I'm trying to understand your perspective.
I'm trying to explain it to you.
I'm asking you if I'm understanding correctly. You're saying, now again, correct me if I'm wrong, are you saying that because he was incompetent, anything done by the Autopen is null? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, correct.
So why not apply that to him actually signing? What difference does it make if he actually signs it or not? He's still, if you believe he's incompetent, him signing it with his physical hand doesn't change it.
To you. I'm going to explain it to you if you will stop interrupting me.
I'm trying to understand your perspective here.
I'm going to explain it to you. Are you ready for me to explain it to you now?
Go for it.
Okay, so this would be very, very similar to be like if you had an elderly grandparent who was no longer mentally competent. They weren't all there anymore, right? And say like a house cleaner was going over to their house, taking checks out of their checkbook, writing themselves a nice check, and taking a stamp that your elderly relative had made of their signature that they could use to put their signature on things, right? And then that person is going and cashing those checks. It's fraud. Do you understand what fraud is?
Do you understand what you just said goes against what you said earlier, right?
No, it doesn't.
Okay. No,
because that person could have absolutely used that stamp to sign a check if they had permission to do so. If they had permission. But they didn't have permission because that person is crazy and hasn't been able to write a check for themselves in a long time.
Okay.
It makes sense. It makes sense. Hang on, guys. It makes sense, and I agree. And Eric in chat just said, pull up the HER report, and I just pulled up the HER report. W. Eric. So the HER investigation. It looks. I'm going to read this. Can you see my screen?
It messes up the feedback.
The terms, I'm going to read it to you. The terms Robert Hur and Biden were connected because are connected because the terms Robert Hur and Biden Autopen are connected because Republican lawmakers investigating President Biden's health have cited special counsel Robert Hur's investigation and interview transcripts, which they claim contain evidence of memory lapses. Some of these lawmakers allege that Biden's aides used an Autopen to sign bills, suggesting it's a way to conceal the president's potential cognitive decline. While Hur's report did not charge Biden with mishandling classified documents, his investigation and released audio recordings have become central to the Autopen allegations, and it continues. So there you have it. This
is a great story, but again, no evidence. This is a great story, but again,
we're having
Eddie,
we're having a hearing. You
gotta move on from this guy, dude. You're gonna be.
Yeah, I'm gonna move on. After this, I'm gonna move on.
Again, we have no. So we're positioned.
After this, sorry, bro. After this, I'm gonna have to move on because you're we got to the bottom of a few things, and you're still not like connecting any dots, and that's okay.
What
we're
you
used to
provided
that.
no evidence.
Yeah. So, like I said, we're as I said before, we're in a hearing. We're trying to figure out what kind of evidence there is and get to the bottom of it, and that's how this works. And now, I never said there was evidence. So you keep talking about evidence, and I never said there was evidence. Correct or not? Yes or no?
I don't know what your position is truly.
You know what my position is. You're just dancing around it, and like a beta. That's what you're doing. You're saying why you don't. Your position is you don't think we should be having this hearing. My position. That's what you said. You said why are we having this hearing?
Yes.
We shouldn't have a hearing.
My issue isn't having a hearing in itself. My issue is that why are we having this hearing when we don't have evidence?
Yes, and I said I don't know if we have evidence, and then now we have
evidence.
Yeah.
Before there's a hearing, this is my position.
Yeah, well, the lawmakers decided to have a hearing, and I'm gonna assume they know better than you.
Why would you make that assumption?
Is that safe to say? Is it safe to say that? Is it safe to say? Is it safe to say that our lawmakers might know better than you?
When it comes to Ted Cruz, who made the impassioned speech that you so loved.
So in your opinion,
evidence that you said.
So in your opinion, the lawmakers don't know better than you, and don't have the information that you have. They have less information than you. Your other position is that Joe Biden's health and mental health is mentally better than Donald Trump ever was. And for that reason, I have to say thank you, but you're just in a whole nother world, and there's not much we can do for you. But I appreciate your call, man. Thank you so much. That was a good call. Glad you did it. It takes guts to do it, and you were honest with your points. And I mean, it is what it is. It just, when you get that TDS, you can't. It's like a religion that you just, a bad religion you can't shake, and you can't see past. And it's all good, bro. But let's chat again. Stay. I mean, stick around if you want to chat and talk about stuff, and we'll do it. As you can see, we're open to dialogue, and I will once in a while give you a platform to speak your mind. Okay.
Before I head off, can I just have what is your position on the Autopen? I just want to make sure I'm very clear to what you believe.
I believe, based on what I see, what I've seen, Joe Biden has shown us that he's mentally not all there. And I, like many other people, would like to know, was Biden aware of what was being signed by the Autopen? That's my position. I'm a spectator, and I'm curious, and I'm an American that is worried about his country and wants the best for our country. And I want the country to be doing the right thing, not having presidents in our running our country for 4 years, and they're signing executive orders or whatever when they themselves don't know if what's being signed, among other things. That's my position.
Do you have evidence he didn't approve what he was signing?
I just told you, I personally don't. I'm like you. I personally don't have evidence, but I've heard and read and saw, and you just see there's something on your screen right now. You could rewind it and look at it, because I'm going to get off of this. But yeah, but I gotta go. Thank you, man.
Yeah, thanks,
have a good day.
Bye. Did he ask you the same thing?
He asked me the same question again and again.
Are you okay?
If you put a little more clothes on, you can come and say hi.
Seriously, to the caller, are you okay? Or are you actually like a little, special and we shouldn't make fun of you? Seriously.
I don't know.
That was pure brain damage.
I mean, I told you, it's just TDS, or it's just indoctrination. It's when you're so locked into your side that even the evidence that's presented to you won't won't really sway you in any way, won't show you the light, won't open your eyes. You won't understand it, even if it hits you right in the face. Guys, how was that? Elmo says no, he's demented. It almost felt like he was trolling, because it's like, dude, you're saying Biden is better now than Trump ever was? That's just the lousiest claim I've ever heard. So guys, how was it? Yeah, it was good. Right on. Look at all the betas. Why'd you kick him out? You lost. Bunch of losers, bro. You got to break out of that loser mentality. Guys, you got to be able to see the light when you're presented with evidence. TDS is a real thing. You guys saw it. But hey, guys, tell me this. What do you guys think about my show? Isn't that cool? We had a caller call in. This is a W show, right? W show? Put it in the chat, bro. Was it a W show or what, bro? Is that cool? Have someone call in that's on the opposite side, and we have some fun and we discuss it, and it's real. It's live. I'm not a bot. He's not a bot. We're talking about stuff. This is cool, right? W, right? Hell yeah. W's in the chat, dude. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Right on. And I say W to the caller for calling, WWMD, what would Medi do? Yeah, that was good. And Random, thanks for jumping in, man. Thanks for jumping in and being part of the conversation. That was fun too. I love the Discord thing. I love this Discord thing where we could just jump in and chat, man. That's super cool. I love it. Ash Rose, everyone, thank you guys. That was a good one.
With staffers behind the scenes pulling the strings.
That was a good one, guys. My brain hurts too a little bit.
This is not
really. I actually have lots of these kind of conversations with people that are just so far gone. It's just at some point you're like, you have a point and you show it to them. They talk to you about something that you're like, dude, this is here you go, boom, boom, boom. And they still can't see it. It's like, all right, dude. Okay. Biden is better now than Trump ever was. That's the claim. This is why we need to look into this stuff, bro, because we got people that are gone.
Political hyperbole. The American people saw it with their own eyes during the June 2024 debate. Numerous times, Biden stood frozen behind the podium, mouth agape, eyes frozen and unblinking. When he did speak, his words were confused and disjointed. I said that night, this is the most consequential presidential debate in history because it will result in one of the two candidates being removed from the ballot. That was exactly right. And following that debate, the Democrats recognized the collapse. They pulled out their knives and took out President Biden like Caesar on the Ides of March. For all of their strutting about, protesting that they support democracy, not a one of them gave a damn about democracy when they pulled Biden off the ballot and dropped Kamala Harris in without a single Democrat primary voter voting for him. And you know what? Not a single Democrat is here today because not a single one of them gives a damn about the fact that they lied to the American people for 4 years.
In the chat, someone said, what do you like about Trump the most? And it made me think. And I don't know if this is what I like about him the most, but I love his, Miss Medication just said, honesty. I like the fact that he's bold, he's honest, he is himself, even if you don't like it, and even if it hurts him, even if it hurts his own image.
Yeah, he's not like a political person.
You know what I mean? He will say something even if it doesn't benefit him, even if it's not good for him. He'll still say it because he's himself. I like that. I like that he's bold in his decisiveness. He's decisive and bold and honest to himself, honest to the American people. And I know he genuinely wants good for America.
They knew. Every one of them knew that Joe Biden was mentally not competent to do the job. The White House press secretary, she knew when she stood in front of the American people and lied over and over and over again, and they're not here because they can't defend themselves. It wasn't a surprise. For 4 years, the White House hid President Biden from Republican senators, would not let him meet with us. He served 40 years in this body. We all know him. And they deliberately lied. And by the way, Jake Tapper had a bombshell book exposing the incredible scandal that Biden's mental decline was covered up by Jake Tapper. There's a Yiddish word, chutzpah. And that truly is chutzpah. How dare we lie and cover up what we all knew? Now, I have been asked literally 1,000 times by Texans, who was running the country? And I'm going to give you the most terrifying answer. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. And not a single Democrat here cares. The most telling proof of Biden's decline came with the signature of the president, the symbol of executive authority that was outsourced to a machine.
Yep.
Mr. Wold, you're a lawyer who served in the White House counsel's office. You understand the gravity of presidential action.
Here we go.
Does the president's signature carry legal and constitutional weight under Article 2?
Yes.
Is the act of signing an executive order or signing a law or granting a pardon a delegable duty of the president?
So in that opinion in 2005 from OLC, they said essentially that an Autopen could be used by a subordinate, but the president's determination as to sign the document can never be delegated.
Can that authority be transferred to a staffer or a machine without the president's explicit authorization?
Never.
And if you look at the statistics are stunning. In 2021, President Biden issued 78 executive orders. None were signed with an Autopen. That first year of the presidency, Biden, I suppose, was relatively lucid, and 78 executive orders he signed by hand. The second year, however, we see the Autopen emerge. The first Autopen executive order was issued on July 15th, 2022. After that day, 100% of the executive orders issued in 2022 were signed by an Autopen. In 2023, Biden issued 24 executive orders. 16 were Autopenned. In 2024, Biden issued 19. 14 were Autopenned. In 2025, Biden issued 14 executive orders. Every single one was Autopenned. Mr. Wald, let me ask you as a legal matter, if there's a law that's passed both houses of Congress and it goes to the White House, and a staffer autopens signing that law without the president's authorization, is that law legally passed and signed into law?
No.
If an executive order is issued and a staffer autopens it without the president's authorization, is that executive order legally binding?
No.
And if a pardon is issued from the President of the United States and a staffer autopens it without the President's authorization, is that pardon legally binding?
No.
Under the Biden White House, the ceremonial song, Hail to the Chief, was effectively replaced with Hail to the Pen. And it was an outright assault on democracy. And every reporter covering this ought to ask, why doesn't a Democrat care? We heard about the moral responsibilities of a staffer. How about an elected senator who knows damn well that if we get into a war and Iran is preparing to fire a nuclear weapon at the United States, that the commander-in-chief is busy playing with his Jell-O and is not competent to defend ourselves? And every member of the cabinet, the chief of staff, the press secretary, and the members of Congress who lied about this on a daily basis with the press's complicity, they are all responsible for subverting democracy.
Senator Cornyn.
Professor Harrison, we've talked about the mechanics of the 25th Amendment whereby an incapacitated president would be removed. But it strikes me that ultimately it happened.
Let's pull something else up. This is my Instagram. Where is it? Where's Elizabeth Warren?
Saying that do you regret saying that President Biden had a mental acuity? He had a sharpness to him. You said that up until July of last year.
I said what I believe to be true.
And you think he was as sharp as you?
I said I had not seen decline. And I hadn't at that point.
You did not see any decline.
He was sharp. He was on his feet. I saw him. Live event. I had meetings with him a couple of times.
Senator, on his feet is not praise. He can speak in sentences is not praise.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Look, the question is, what are we going to do now?
Okay. The future of the Democratic Party.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you see it going? Do you think it is moving towards abandoning social issues?
No.
Of talking less about race and gender inequality?
No.
Okay. One prominent Democrat, Rahm Emanuel.
Yeah.
He's called the Democratic brand toxic, weak, and woke.
Thanks, Rahm.
Do you regret saying that President Biden had a mental acuity? He had a sharpness to him. You said that up until July of...
What a total scam. What a freaking scam, guys. Does that not get under your skin like it does mine? Am I the only one? I can't be the only one. I can't be the only one.
And focused. I can testify because Trump during his first term. During my tenure as press secretary, I interacted with the president multiple times every day. Most days I would talk to him by phone or in person early in the morning and then multiple
Thanks, World Dad.
times throughout the day, including weekends. For the most senior positions in the White House, those designated by the rank of assistant to the president, which includes the White House chief of staff, the White House counsel, and the press secretary, it is critical to have regular interaction with the president. The position of press secretary especially demands this type of consistent and intentional communication. I or any other press secretary, regardless of administration, could not do the job effectively without regular communication with the president. It was my responsibility to have the most up-to-date understanding of President Trump's position on policy, personnel, and everything in between. Admittedly, I made a couple of rather high-profile mistakes during my tenure. You may have read some of them. But in all cases, who is running this country, the same cannot be said of President Biden. It is the president who is elected by the American people.
Let's look at this. Check this out, guys, right here.
To execute his agenda and policies. I thank
coming
the
up.
committee for holding this hearing so that going forward, the American people can have the confidence in who is running the country and making critical decisions. The American people deserve no less.
Here we go.
Thank you for those opening statements. The minority did not call any witnesses for today's hearing. They have chosen to ignore the hearing as they chose to ignore President Biden's mental decline, but we do have a short video of some previous statements from the Biden administration.
Here we
officials,
go.
Democrat Party officials
Here we
telling
go.
us not to believe our lying eyes. We can play the video.
Does the president have the stamina, physically and mentally, do you think, to continue on even after 2024?
Don, you're asking me this question. Oh my gosh, he's the president of the United States. You know, I can't even keep up with him.
The most difficult part about a meeting with President Biden is preparing for it, because he is sharp, intensely probing, and detail-oriented.
That's a lie.
That's a lie.
That's a lie.
That's a lie.
Are you out of your cotton picking mind?
Are you out of your cotton picking mind?
And focused. I can testify because I've been working very closely with this president for the past 2 years. I've been knowing him for 30 years. And I'm telling you, this guy's tough. He's smart. He's on his game.
Joe Biden.
That's a lie.
That's a lie.
That's a lie.
That's a lie.
He has vision. He has knowledge. He has a strategic thinker.
That's a lie.
The president is focused. He's detail oriented.
That's a lie.
He's always thinking about the big picture.
That's a lie.
Engaging. He is capable. He has an incredible record as president.
That's a lie.
And I'm often with him on
Satan is your daddy, woman.
foreign trips. He's at the top of his game.
So he
Satan is your daddy, woman.
has a vision. He has knowledge.
Satan is your daddy, woman.
He has judgment. He has a strategic thinking.
Satan is your daddy, woman.
She repeated the same thing she said before. She scripted that.
I, met with the president, I don't know, 5 or 6 weeks ago, and he seemed fine to me.
I have complete
That's a lie.
confidence in the president. I have watched him expertly guide meetings of staff and
That's a lie.
cabinet members. I could not have more confidence in the president.
That's a lie.
I would just tell you that I meet frequently with the president, and every single time I meet with him, he is just fine.
That's a lie.
That's a lie.
But he is, again, knowledgeable, wise.
Incredibly sharp, incredibly probing, incredible command of the details.
He is sharp. He is on top of things.
There is nothing to these challenges, these suggestions that somehow he's not sharp and he's not capable.
We see Joe Biden up close. We know how attuned he is to the issue.
And you're going to see how smart he is and the experience he has.
I say his age is an asset.
He's wise.
Yes, he's wise. He has wisdom. He has experience.
And his experience, because of his age and his wisdom, has been invaluable to this country.
A lot of countries, people who've been in office a longer period of time are praised for their wisdom.
I have seen a lot of 72-year-olds not as capable as this 80-year-old.
It is hard for us to keep up with this president.
His mental acuity is great. It's fine. It's as good as it's been over
That's
the years.
a lie.
He's fine. All this right-wing
That's a lie.
propaganda that his mental acuity has declined is wrong.
And this kind of sense that he's not ready for this job is just a bucket of BS that's so
I mean, this is just insane.
So what should those standards be? And Professor Harrison,
That opening
concluded he could not form the requisite mental state to stand trial. He did not have the...
Okay, guys, it's 10:20, and it's time for me to call it a night. That's fun. I had a good time with you guys. We got to like almost 200,000 views. Holy cow. Dude, we're about to hit 7,000. Should we stay on a little longer? Hit 7,000. Can you guys all hit the like button? I'm sorry, the subscribe. If everyone hits subscribe, bro, I'll hit 7K on stream right now, dude.
mental ability to stand trial. And what did our Democrat colleagues say? Vice President Harris says, oh, no, the way that the Her report characterized the president so wrong.
I have an idea. Let's do this. Let's go right here.
The conversation that they had with Kamala Harris, where they edited the answers that she had to make it look more precise.
60 Minutes has a sterling reputation for investigative journalism. Are they wrong?
But that's not investigative journalism if you change someone's answers. If you ask her a question and she comes with a rambling answer that doesn't make sense and you edit that out and insert another answer to a different question that seems more cogent.
Joe, you're walking down, you're walking down a dangerous path. Suing media has the impact of intimidating media.
It's deceptive editing.
Joe,
so in deceptive editing,
I don't
you
know
give people a different perception of who this candidate is than reality.
Right, but you got to explain.
But that's not objective journalism.
I know, but
that's campaigning for that person.
Right, but
would you agree with that?
I don't have those details. I don't know that I agree with.
That's what I thought.
Your analysis of it. I don't know enough.
I think that's universally accepted that that's what they did. The conversation that they had.
Yeah, dude. See, you see that, dude? When they get cornered, when they're not in their echo chamber, they get stuck. They get jammed up, dude. They lose it. They don't know what to say.
It's two things. Number one, your upbringing in college campuses does not foster debate like it used to. It just doesn't. It's that it's about silencing the critic and the elevation of the victim. So you do not have the practice of robust having to defend your position. It's very monolithic. It's very centralized. It's very top down. It's quasi-authoritarian. And then secondly, I would just say that the philosophy on the worldview, as I mentioned earlier, that you guys have adopted is that thou which is oppressed will get the most points. You guys don't have thou that has the best idea wins. It's two things. Number one, your upbringing in college campuses does not follow.
Are we going to hit, what do you guys think? Are we going to hit 7K or is that for tomorrow morning? What do you think? Alex, you love it, bro? Is it good stuff or what? Hell yeah, bro. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Are we going to hit 7K? We need what? 36 people to subscribe. We have 600 people live right now. We need, Manuel says, Medi, what's the Discord? State Line put a link in the chat for Discord. And I also have a link to Discord on my YouTube channel homepage. If you go to my YouTube channel homepage, there's a link to Discord there as well. Yeah. That's probably the best one to use. The one on my channel homepage. You guys are having a good time with that. Dude, we're at 69, 68. 69, 69, bro. Damn, that's 69, 69, baby. Hold on, let me get a picture of it. Hold on. Oh, got it, bro. 69, 69, bro. Holy smokes. Damn, that's a good one. Hell yeah, bro. Eric M, bro. Hell yeah. W. Eric M. He says, Miss Medication is a smoke show. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You got to do it right, you know? Wendy says California. Hey, Wendy, I'm in California too. I'm in SoCal. Are you in SoCal? Damn, we're at 69, 68. Oh no. Oh, back up. 69, 69. Hell yeah. Trump would love it. Yes, he would, Shamus. Trump would love my 6970. Dang, bro. Holy cow.
Charlie Kirk was the moderate. He was the fucking reasonable guy in the room, you dummy. He wasn't a far-right activist. Are you kidding me? You have any idea what's out there? You think that was like the radical position? Charlie Kirk was the most moderate human being. He was a plumb line Republican. A plumb line Republican, as everybody who knows anything about anything knows, is 1 centimeter to the right of a plumb line Democrat.
W. Julianne Fish, thank you. Thank you from Colorado. Thank you for subscribing. Hell yeah. Yeah, we got more, dude. I'm on every morning and almost. I'm not going to nail myself down now. I'm typically on in the mornings once and in the evenings once. So I do typically 2 a day.
He was right just in the middle. You sit there and what do you think? You think this is a victory?
Tamara.
Like for you? You think?
James says, live here in SD, living out here with a bunch of people who are lost. Remember the 90s? It was great. Literally look at it now. What changed? Dem crazy.
Oh, you took out let me think this through here with all of my wisdom. I want to win a culture war. So what I did was I violently murdered the most high profile moderate voice. on the other side. Hey, geniuses, but summon all your wisdom together and tell me, do you think that is likely to calm things down, or might that lead to more radicalization? Charlie Kirk was the moderate. He was the fucking reasonable.
Yeah, West Coast morning. I'm in the mornings on West Coast, so it ends up being like lunchtime somewhere else, or afternoons on East Coast. I'll do like 9 or 10, 9-ish, 10 Pacific time. So
the reason this is so dangerous from the left, and it's not as dangerous from the right, is because the people who are on the right live in a version of objective reality. We live in the real world. These people do not live in the real world. If you're going to believe that a man is a woman, and you're going to believe that we should have no borders for our country and unlimited numbers of people can turn up and just steal from us, if you're going to believe that criminals shouldn't go to jail, you're not a person who's sensible. You now have no parameters from which to operate your logic. So if you're going to live in a complete fantasy land, it becomes a lot easier to justify murdering a political...
Hang on. Alex Sada says, I never thought I would have so much fun with conservatives today. Let's get lunch at Subway. Love it, dude. Hell
opponent than it does if you operate from a frame of rationality. So for that reason, the left are far more dangerous, because all of their ideas are dangerous because none of them are true. None of them are real. For the same reason it's dangerous for me to say to you, gravity isn't real, you can jump off a building. If you start believing in things that are completely falsified, completely fantasy, then murder is the end result of all of it. So the left is a serious problem across the world. It's a serious problem across America, especially. You add in a spiritual sickness where we have nothing unifying us in the West anymore. We don't share respect for a flag. We don't share respect for the country we're in. We don't share language. We don't share religion. We don't even share economic prosperity anymore. There's literally nothing unifying us. And if
W. Ash Rose, the tuna, bro. I love the tuna sub. Toasted tuna sub. American cheese. Let's go.
you're going to remove the capability to debate and discuss ideas, then you're going to have an absolute civil war. And that's what's so sad.
W. Alex, bro. Thanks for coming, man. Glad you liked the show, dude. Come back. Let's hang.
That Charlie Kirk literally was.
Alabama anarchist says Andrew Tate is such a good, wholesome individual.
The number one guy trying to speak. He wasn't trying to inflame tensions. He wasn't trying to push violence. He was the guy saying, look, let's talk this through and let me show you why you're wrong. He was the good guy who did the right thing, and he caught a bullet for it. And that is truly devastating. So the reason that
Eric says, Medi, what do you think of Nick Fuentes? I haven't watched enough of Nick Fuentes to give a good opinion on him, but what I've seen so far, there are things I agree with, and I understand the message he's trying to convey. Although I do agree in some cases he goes a little far, but nothing I can't handle. I'm a grown man. I'm an adult. I can take it. I'm not afraid of bad words or you're not hurting my feelings with words, but I do understand what he's saying. And I mean, you'd have to be kind of not with it to see the points that he's making. He makes some valid points, to be honest. I mean, you gotta admit.
He wanted to save young men, just like the one who took his life. That young man. That young man. Father, forgive them, for they not know what they do. That man. That young man. I forgive him.
I know, me too, Sam. Me too.
If you over-coddle people, if you protect them from everything that's sharp, you make them dull and stupid and narcissistic. And it's a really bad idea. This idea that's promoted by the people who are protecting those who are easily offended, that the way to make people secure is to protect them from things that they don't want to encounter. First of all, it's hard to make people safe because life is seriously not safe.
Yes.
And the way that you make people resilient is by exposing them to things that they're afraid of and that make them uncomfortable voluntarily, but you use exposure.
Right.
And it's
a big one.
And so, like, if you over coddle people, if you protect them from everything that's sharp, you make them dull and stupid and narcissistic, and it's a really bad idea.
So you do know America.
If you over coddle people, if you protect them from.
You like that, Samara? Quick timeout. Quick. Didn't even have to think.
So you're gay?
I'm gay.
I didn't know you were gay.
Yeah, well, I just told you.
How did you become gay?
One doesn't become gay. One is born that way.
And so, have you been with men?
Of course.
Like sexually?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
That's mind-blowing.
This is mind-blowing for you?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because I never expected a priest and a father of Epiphany Church to be gay.
That you
don't
sounds like
look
you're
gay.
coming from the assumption, what's look gay?
James, thanks for coming, man. I'll catch you in the morning or tomorrow afternoon or evening. But thanks for hanging, man.
You know, switchy and soft looking.
Really? That's what you call stereotyping.
Oh, but
that's called, that's like if I were to say to you, well, you're black, where's your fried chicken?
I was at the house and I can't wait to get home to eat it. So you're gay?
I'm gay.
I didn't know you were gay. So you're gay? I didn't know you were gay. So you're gay? I didn't know you were gay. How did you become gay?
Love it, bro. Love it, bro. And then our one and only.
If you ask 100 people on the street, what kind of government is America supposed to be? 99% of them will tell you a democracy. But that's a lie. The word democracy is not written into the Constitution at one time. It's not in the Bill of Rights. It's not in the Declaration of Independence. The Founding Fathers hated the idea of a democracy. They thought it was the worst form of government there is. And I agree with them. Because in a democracy, 51% of the people control 49% of the people.
She's more. He's black. He black. I love Jesse. Hell yeah.
Beta male. That's amazing. What the?
If you're part of the 49%, you're not free. America was founded as a constitutional republic.
Alex Goldberg says, gotta throw some Thomas Sowell in the tracks. Now, Alex, I gotta tell you, I just ordered 4 Thomas Sowell books today. Alex, bro. I literally bought 4 books, and I bought one of his books. I paid $250 for one Thomas Sowell book. Believe it or not. Believe that or not, bro. I literally spent $250 on one book. And it's not a book you would expect me to spend that much money on, but it was, apparently they don't make them anymore, and it's the last of the last, and I like hardcovers. Nowadays I'm geeking out. I don't know what it is, but I don't know. In my mind, I'm gonna create this library in some house someday, and I'm gonna want these hardcovers to pass down to my kids or something. I don't know. Who knows, bro? Maybe I'm just being stupid. Either way, I'm enjoying it, and it is what it is. But I ordered it, and 3 other books. Yeah, they're out of print. Yeah, they are. Yeah, it's too bad, man. What's his name? Charlie Kirk told us to read Thomas Sowell, and so that's what I'm doing. Thomas Sowell. Look, this is even my first search is right there. Look at that. This book right here. $270 for a new version of it. Brand new hardcover. I want to know what Marxism is to see what is it these wackos are excited about. And I want to that's why I want to learn what Marxism is. I want to know exactly what the hell's going on. So who better than from Thomas Sowell? And I also got books on economics from Thomas Sowell. I got books on discrimination, books on discrimination disparages, I think it was. Yeah, he's the best. We gotta do more of him. The problem with Thomas Sowell is I can't play it on my show because it's heavily copyrighted. It's older stuff that's like like in some type of OG copyright database where even like a little bit of it gets me hit with a copyright. So it is what it is. Read the source material, the Communist Manifesto and Das Kapital. Okay, I will. The Communist Manifesto. There you go. I'll look this up, bro. I'll look this up. I'll get a hardcover. Is there an original? I bet you that's expensive, bro. The Communist Manifesto. There's no hardcover available. Is it translated? State Line says you just got flagged. No, I'm not. No, I'm saying I can't play his videos because they'll flag me for copyright if I play the videos. That's all I'm saying. But there's no hardcover. Is there hardcover? There is none. Oh, what is this? It's a $10 hardcover. Anyway, I'll put that on my list, bro. I'll get that book too. I'm down. I want to learn about all this stuff. I want to get the source stuff. I want to learn about communism, like for actual learn it from a book, like inside out. I want to learn about socialism. I want to learn about Marxism. I want to see what the hell's going on to make myself a better debater, better communicator. I want to learn just to learn more than anything, but it'll all obviously make me better. So, I don't know. Spider Venom says, this is being recorded. Copyright is only for recorded content, isn't it? This is being recorded? Yes. This is being, this is live, and it goes on to YouTube as a video. And it stays on YouTube as a recorded video. All of these live streams I do are on my channel. You can go back and watch hours of us doing this live. Yeah. Communist Manifesto. What did he say? Communist Manifesto and another one he said. And Das Kapital. Okay, so oh, there's a hardcover, bro, for $40, the Communist Manifesto. I gotta find a first edition. You know, I'm geeking out right now, guys. So I'm on this whole different like thing, and it's annoying because they're freaking expensive and you know, books. Dude, it's just anyway, bro. It's annoying, but it's fun. I love it. I love it. I'm gonna bookmark this, add to list, books to read, and then this one, Das Kapital. I have multiple screens, guys. That's why I'm looking over to the side here. I have another screen over here on the side. Das Kapital includes volume 1, 2, and 3. There's three volumes. There's a hardcore cover for $35. It's just called Capital. Okay, I'll add that too. Books to read. Okay. Random says, I highly recommend the SCP Foundation. What is that? Are you messing with me again, bro? You messed with me last night. You messed with me yesterday, bro. What is this, bro? What are you trying to put me on right now? Timmy. Oh, Das Kapital is the German title. I see. Okay. All right, cool. Guys, we're at 69.85. We just got 2 subs right now, dude. We're about to hit 7K. I don't want to get off, but I do. I got to go to bed after I do some admin stuff for my businesses for tomorrow morning. I got to do some stuff now, and then I go to bed, and then I wake up. I watch sunrises in the morning. I take photos. I like photography, so Random says the SCP Foundation is a collection of short writings by people all over the world. Okay. I got it, and I'm going to bookmark it. Let's see what that's all about, dude. We'll see what that's all about. Interesting. Holy cow. Now I just got to find time in the day to read all this stuff. Eric says, what type of businesses do you own? I own a couple. I own a couple businesses that have products, and I own a couple businesses that I offer services. But I don't ever explain it or allude to any of my businesses here online because I've told you guys before, man. I know what this doxing thing is all about. I've seen it, and I'm not trying to get, have people like try to, I don't know, dox or whatever it is that these lunatics are doing these days. But I'm in a couple different things. Some things are techie. Some things are products and just creatives. But I've been doing tech stuff for a very long time, just so you know. No brick and mortar. No, bro. I'm in California. I try to have as few employees as possible. Just put it that way. As few as possible, dude. Dude, we literally need like only 13 more subs and we're at 7K, bro. Holy shit, bro. Holy shit. We hit 7K. State line, dude. Did you think we'd hit 7K this fast? Dude. The Volgan? He says the Volgan. Yeah, Baby Yaga. Yes, they had lots of overhead and liability. And liability, bro. The Volgan. What is the Volgan? Oh, it's an SCP book, like a writing. Is that what Volgan is? I Choose Live. What's up? What's up? We're hanging out a little bit, dude. It's late night. Volgan is a channel that does content from the SCP. Okay. I'll check it out. I just subscribed.
So, you stumbled upon or heard about a thing called SCP, and you're wondering what it's all about. This guide has all the information you need to know about what the SCP Foundation is and what it has to offer you. Think of it as the ultimate primer to the universe, and the wiki as it is and should be seen today. This guide is split up into 3 sections, and they are as follows. Number 1, the basics, an introduction to the SCP. So, as follows. Number 1, the basics, an introduction to the SCP Foundation and wiki, covering the SCP format, object classes, in-universe lore about the Foundation, and important vocabulary, and why it all matters. Number 2, in-universe elements.
This guy talking kind of sounds like the caller we had earlier today.
This covers some background information and a lot of commonly used terms that might leave a new...
What was his name again? I forgot.
...reader lost or confused. Number 3, things to read and do. A tour of the entire SCP universe, covering all modes of writing and different kinds of pieces that you can read. From -J...
Tronal Dump says, does your channel now use... What is he saying? Let me read this. Does you chat now you censor in constantly to keep up the echo chamber? Why do you keep ignoring anything related to Israel, Medi? Kiss the wall, beta. What? I don't know. Guys, am I avoiding anything that has to do with Israel? I don't know what he's talking about. Or she, or it. I don't want to misgender you, bro. Like, Yeah, maybe YouTube is censoring you, bro. Maybe you're just saying things you shouldn't be saying on YouTube, bro.
To EXs, 001 proposals to groups of interest.
Oh, Tamara says he came out of nowhere talking nonsense. Okay.
Tales and canons. There's a lot more than just the SCP series. Okay, let's get started. The basics. Operating clandestine and worldwide, the Foundation operates beyond jurisdiction, empowered and entrusted by every major national government with the task of containing anomalous objects, entities, and phenomena. These anomalies...
This is his message right here. You guys said you can't see his message, but this is his message right here. And then I choose said Medi, and then I said, what's up? And then you said, where is it coming from? We can't see his message. Okay, so you're just saying hi. Okay, cool. Just checking.
Pose a significant threat to global security by threatening either physical or...
Kiss the wall, Goyim? What is he saying? What does that even mean? Is he just trolling?
Psychological harm. Introduction. The SCP Foundation is a collaborative writing platform centering around a fictional foundation, a scientific and military organization that seeks to protect humanity and the status quo by locating and containing anomalies, objects, life forms, events, locations, concepts, creations, and phenomena that, in one way or another, violate natural law. On the SCP Wiki, authors tell stories and explore ideas within this urban fantasy science fiction universe, creating rich pieces of writing that take place in a world where the anomalous exists and how people and organizations interact with them. These articles may showcase the different types of phenomena that might exist in this universe.
So is it talking about a fictional thing? I didn't pay good enough attention to it, bro. Is it talking about a fictional thing?
The SCPs themselves, or tell compelling narratives about life and interactions within the SCP world, tales, canons, and groups of interest formats. The anomaly can be 79, SCP-993, SCP-1425, and SCP-3039. All examples will be in the video description. Next, Euclid. The anomaly is inherently unpredictable or requires some amount of special effort to be contained. You're not quite sure what will happen if you leave it alone, and it might be a little bit more complex than a safe class entity, object, or phenomenon.
Euclid is a street out here in Orange County. It's off the 5 freeway and the 405, bro. That's Euclid.
Some notable examples of Euclid class SCPs are SCP-3008.
State line says, what kind of brainwashing shit is this? What is this, bro? What are we doing, bro?
SCP-426, SCP-1171, SCP-3001, and SCP-1609.
Oh, so it's like a good, thing to, it's for fun, as you said earlier, for fun, for enjoyment, to kind of read as like a fiction, kind of fictional thing.
Or pataphysical that block a term.
And do we ever get to the meat and potatoes, or let's go to Volgin. So this is one.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name.
So this is the SCP. This is SCP-7819.
Is Dr. Miller, and the SCP we're going to be looking at today is SCP-7819. Object class, Keter, uncontained. Special containment procedures. If you are currently under the influence of SCP-7819, please immediately refer to Addendum 1. SCP-7819.
Steve, what's up, buddy? Yes, we talk about politics, but right now we're kind of veering off. It's late night. We're kind of looking at some different stuff here.
Is still under active study. If you believe you have come into contact with it, contact the research lead immediately. Description.
Steve, what do you think about the Great White Hope? Steve, do you know who the Great White Hope is?
SCP-7819 is a predatory location that manifests along exits of the United States numbered highway system in the contiguous United States. SCP-7819...
Steve, you don't know who the Great White Hope is? Really?
The Great White Hope.
You never heard that before?
The Great White Hope.
Teen's appearance is generally fixed. It presents as a small roadside hotel or motel, though the exact layout may vary, advertising vacant rooms, always identified by exterior signage as the Rest Easy Inn. Several conditions must be met for SCP-7819 to manifest for a driver.
You've heard that voice before, but you don't know who we're talking about? Have you heard this before? Hold on.
Beta male, beta. Man, be a alpha male, not a beta male.
Have you heard that before? Come on, Steve.
The time between midnight and...
Come on, bro. You did. I knew you did.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
What the?
That's amazing.
Oh my God, bro. This is so good. Oh, dude.
Are you out of your cotton picking mind?
Trump is... You are a Trump hater and you are a beta male.
You are a Trump hater and you are a beta male.
Have you heard that before, bro? Come on, let's see if he gets it. Come on,
4
Steve.
a.m. Local time zone. The driver of the vehicle must have been driving for over 5 hours, discounting small breaks. The driver must be a past or present Foundation employee. The driver must be alone in the vehicle. Upon driving near SCP-7819, the driver will begin to feel a deep-seated sense of fatigue and tiredness. It is unclear whether this is a natural reaction.
No, I'm just messing with you, bro. It's Jesse Lee Peterson, bro. We like Jesse Lee Peterson. You like Trump or dislike? Trump is the Great White Hope, Steve.
The Great White Hope.
Yes, sir. We love Trump. Trump is Trump is the Great White Hope, bro.
Reaction to driving for several hours.
But no, it's an open channel. We like dialogue, both sides. We just had someone on. I had a caller in that called in. He was on the other side. We talked and we debated a little bit. The guy called in, Steve, and he said that Joe Biden is mentally more there than Trump has ever been.
Hours and seeing an opportunity for a break or an anomalous phenomenon caused by SCP-7819.
Steve, do you think that Biden right now is mentally better than Trump ever was?
To lure
That's what the caller called in and said to us.
drivers in. Regardless, this fatigue will continue as the driver pulls off the highway and into the parking lot of the inn. Should the driver drive past SCP-7819, the sense of fatigue will remain, though through unknown means their vehicle will be seamlessly transported several miles backward, often without their realization. They will drive past SCP-7819 again.
You're right, Manuel. That's his name. His name was Andres. That's right, Andres. Alabama says, I wish we weren't such a headstrong bunch. It'd make things so much easier. LOL. Yeah. State Line says, can this be escaped like the Matrix or the little X in the corner? LOL.
Be transported backward again, and this process will continue until they park inside SCP-7819. The driver will not be able to escape this phenomenon until they exit their vehicle, enter SCP-7819, and perform several requisite activities. These activities vary, but SCP-7819's many manifestations have...
Is this music gonna get me hit for a copyright? Q, thank you, bro. WQ, hell yeah. Steve knows, bro. Biden was never all there, bro. W Steve, guys. W Steve.
Provided a relatively dependable action plan for performing the rituals and surviving SCP-7819. If you are currently under the influence of SCP-7819, Please proceed through Addendum 1. Remain calm and do not rush. Accuracy and efficiency
Ocho más, amigo.
is more important.
I think we gotta, dude. We gotta go. We gotta get our subscribers up, man. Let's get a good video on for us, huh? How about that? How about a good video? Should we do a good one? Should we get Jesse in there? Let's get Jesse in here, bro. Will we gain subscribers or lose subscribers? What do you guys think? You are a Trump hater and you are a beta male.
Hey, Brian.
I just wanted to touch base with you again. One of the last times that I spoke with you, it was about my mother. The first time that I spoke with you, I talked about my mother and that I moved.
Music again in the background. Jeez.
Are you saying that most white people were going around lynching black people?
During that time, yes.
That's
again music. Holy cow! Why is it putting music? What is going on here?
And it's very.
What is a social justice advocate? What do you do exactly?
Well, I think that's I'm a social justice advocate in I think what I do, even in my writings. And as you know, South Africa has been a world of injustice, both under apartheid and still under democracy.
Tell us the story, Medi. What should I tell you guys? What do you guys want to know?
The miracle nation of South Africa became the most unequal country in the world. So there's a lot of injustice to fight here and across the globe. So my writings, my interviews, and my work filters right into that.
And what are you advocating for?
Glad you found us now, Steve. Hell yeah, bro. Well, have fun, man. It's a good time.
What do you want to see happen?
I want a society and a world that is completely different to what is happening at the moment. And we have, for instance, in South Africa and on the continent, it's been a continent of extraction and a continent where Western countries, including the United States, has caused quite, in my view, immeasurable damage by treating the continent as a place of.
Good call, Random. I'll check that out. But these guys are using it in their videos that I'm trying to play. That's the problem.
Self-enrichment. And the continent is in quite a bad state at the moment. And the history lies heavily on the present day. So my wish would be that we would see proper economic justice and liberation, not only in South Africa, but across the continent. And actually today I'm busy writing on the second African climate.
Jesse, come on, get into it with her, bro. Light her up, bro. Come on, light her up, man. Let's go. Pick it up. Let's go. Guys, we only need 7 more subscribers, and we're at 7,000. Stateline, did you believe we're going to hit 7K this fast? I didn't see a response, bro. I'm sorry. I asked you a question, and I walked up. And I turned around. Yeah, it feels like someone's going to try. I'm in a hallway with no doors. Oh, dude. Stateline, can you believe it, dude? Random, can you guys believe this? 7K, that's quick, bro. We're moving, guys. 6 more, we're at 7K.
Summit that's taking place in Ethiopia as we speak. And it's very interesting because in terms of climate,
Yeah, we just talked about this. Steve says, LMAO, it's weird being in a space where that's encouraged. What's encouraged? Being conservative? Yeah, bro.
Africa actually contributes just 1% to the global emissions, but suffers the main.
Oh, debate. Yeah, we like debate, man. I literally just had someone from the left on here, and I did that yesterday too. I think that was last night, right, guys? Correct me if I'm wrong. That's 2 nights in a row. I had someone from the left on here, and we did a honest debate.
main consequences of climate change. And we have great famine brought about by this in many of develop a hoping
will be done because it's pretty bad. Let me ask, I don't know a lot about you personally. Are you a Christian?
Yes, Steve, a lot of people have issues with what you're talking about currently in universities because universities are very, very heavily left leaning. And so people still have issues. Kids report about issues not getting fair treatment because they have opposing views, mainly from the right, mainly views that are right leaning.
A Christian? No. Actually, my life story is that I was born into a very religious Orthodox Jewish family and have always found that religion is very problematic, especially at the moment. And I'm very involved in the pro-Palestinian cause. So I grew up,
Of course, she's part of the pro-Palestinian cause. Of course she is. Guys, we need 5 more. 5 more subs, dude. Holy cow.
With the Jewish ideology that teaches us that
if you're watching, subscribe to my channel. We just need 5 more to get to 7,000, dude.
Jews are the chosen people. So I was a rebel, I think, to quote.
And then mention it in the chat. Say, hey, I just subscribed.
Nina Simone, a rebel with a cause from a very early.
And then you could join our Discord too if you want.
Age where.
And then you can even call in. You want to call in? Call in, bro. Let's talk.
I not only confronted religious alienation, but was brought up in an apartheid society, which, as you know, was a very evil system of racial oppression. But I'm not a Christian. I believe that.
Very long answers, Jesse. You got to cut.
How do your parents react to that? Your family?
I know what's happening in the name of Judaism.
Love the Jews.
Jesse, help us out, buddy.
And I don't understand that question. Do I love the Jews?
Yeah. Do you love the Jews?
I think that the Jewish population, those that are Zionists, are a symbol of inhumanity at the moment. And I absolutely deplore what they're doing. I'm not a new convert to being an anti-Zionist and a pro-Palestinian activist. Since my university days, I've been very active in that. And I find what the Jewish people are doing is deplorable. I don't believe there should be a state. I think in the same way that South Africa and Africa was colonized, Palestine was colonized.
But South Africa wasn't colonized. South Africa was not colonized. But I want to know, do you love the Jews?
I don't love Jews who are subscribing to Zionism and to killing innocent Palestinian children.
You say
that would be my answer.
So you don't love the Jews?
I have no affiliation to the Jews. In fact, in my life, I never felt comfortable in that religion.
Amazing.
I haven't practiced it, and but I have seen Jewish people who've stood very firmly on the anti-apartheid struggle and on the anti-Zionist struggle, and I applaud them because sometimes to stand against our community is very costly and very uncomfortable.
And do you love white people?
Somebody else subscribe, bro. 69.96. Here we go.
I love white people who are committed to justice and who are not practicing white supremacy. So yes, I would qualify that, and I would feel the same for any group. I stand for humanity, and I support people who do the same.
The Jews have given up a lot of land over in Israel to the Palestinians, Palestine, and they still want more. They're never satisfied. They want to push the Jews into the sea. Do you agree with them pushing the Jews into the sea, from the land to the sea? Do you agree that that should happen?
I think that is just part of the propaganda that.
No, I've seen that myself. I've been there and I've seen that. Are you for the Palestinian pushing the Jews into the sea?
You've seen Palestinians pushing Jews into the sea?
No, I've heard them say that and they shout that and they've seen that. Are you for them pushing the Jews into the sea?
I think that is a slogan of freedom. It's not. I don't think that any Jews have been pushed into the sea.
But that's what they want. No, they haven't done it yet, but they want that. Are you for that?
It's the same. It's the same ideology and mischief making that we have in South Africa, where we say black people want to push white people into the sea, and it hasn't happened. It's like this false dogma.
I know it hasn't happened, but they chant all the time.
Slim, what is he saying about Ottoman Empire? Well, Ottoman Empire was 100 years ago.
From the land to the sea, they wish to push the Jews into the sea. Do you agree with that?
So there has been no Israeli Jew that has been pushed into the sea.
I know that hasn't happened, but they want to. Do you support that idea?
I think you don't understand the systemic issues. So perhaps you can give me an opportunity to respond. There's been no Jew who's been pushed into the sea.
But they
want it. I want to compare it. I want to compare it to South Africa, where there's been your president was very excited.
3 more, dude. 3 more subscribers. Come on, guys.
Show videos of Julius Malema of the EFF saying, "Kill the Boer."
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that, but so hold that thought. I want to come to that.
But
I saw that as well, but I just need a yes or no. Are you for the Palestinians pushing the Jews into the sea?
That question is so loaded.
Right on, Ibrahim. Thanks for subscribing, bro. Appreciate you, dude. We got 2 more to go to hit 7K.
To answer that, I'm answering it in my own way.
How's it loaded?
1 more to go.
What do you mean loaded?
It's
Is that a yes or no?
She can't answer the question. Damn, guys, we hit 7K. Dude, woo! Hell yeah, dude. Damn, that is way faster than I thought. Holy smokes. Guys, thank you for subscribing. Dude, 7K, babe. We're now 7,003. Woo!
That's amazing.
That's amazing, dude. Hell yeah. I can't believe it happened that fast.
What the? That's amazing.
Dude, thank you guys so much. Wow, dude. Wow. Dude, love you guys. Dude, Kanan, Astros, Eric, Tamara, a random, World, Manuel. Dude, thanks. Sam even, you know who subscribed? What's the guy's name again? Andres even subscribed. He's going to be back. W, guys. Thank you guys so much, man. Love you guys. This is incredible. Random says going to be 10K by Christmas. It's good, bro. It's going to be 10K in like probably a week and a half. It's my guess. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. We're moving fast, dude. We went from 5 to 7K in a week, if I'm not mistaken. I think that happened in a week, guys. Let me pull something up here. Holy cow. Guys, we got Discord. We talk offline on Discord when we're not on. Dude, thank you, man. Congrats to you guys, bro. Thank you guys so much, man. Dude, this is so exciting. Holy cow. This is, so a week from today is the 14th. So let's go back to October 14th. Here's October 14th. Let me just pull this video up. Video show on YouTube. This is good to know, Jen. Good. Oh, so dude, it was. Dude, look. On October 14th, you look at the screen. It was 4,700 on October 14th. In a week, we got 2,300 subscribers, dude. That's 50% increase in a week. Dude, that's literally a 50% increase in a week, guys. Wow. Look at your screen. That's a lot. It's snowballing, dude. You're gonna need bunk beds, dude. Dude. Holy cow. Nikki, thank you, bro. Nikki's the 7,000th subscriber. Nikki Cage, dude. Hell yeah. Nikki Cage, bro. I love it. Dude, that's so cool. Thanks for supporting me, man. Really appreciate you guys. Nikki, I can't tell if you're a guy or a girl. The picture is too small for me to look like. It looks maybe a guy. But dude, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for supporting me. Holy cow, I can't believe it. I can't believe we hit 50% increase in a week. That's wow. That's a big, it's a male. Okay. All right, bro. Thank you. Nikki, do you know who this is?
The Great White Hope.
Do you know who the Great White Hope is? DDB Splash says just about exactly 50% increase. It is almost exactly. Don't make me pull out my calculator, bro. Don't make me do it. I'm OG like that, bro. I got my calculator right here, dude. I don't mess around. We got to crunch some numbers, baby. 4,723 times 0.5 is 20. Wow. What easier way to do is go 4,723 times 1.5 is 7,084. It's almost exactly 50%.
Tell them about how you either need to find a ruler, measuring tape, or calculator at least once a day.
Miss Medication brought it upon herself to come all the way here with almost nothing on.
No, don't look at me.
To say, hey, you have to let your guys know that who you are. Let them know that you're always trying to find your ruler, your tape measure, or your calculator.
At least once a day.
At least once a day.
It's not a joke.
It's not a joke. You can hear her. She's saying it right now. And it's true. I literally.
Where's the tape measure?
Look what I found, by the way.
This is mine.
I literally am using a tape measure and it's all right here. Or a ruler, or I use one of these rulers.
No one knows for what reason.
That has cork on the back so it doesn't scratch things, and it's a metal stainless steel. I don't play around, guys. Do you Google everything? Yep, I Google everything. That's right, bro. I don't have a stapler, man. Sorry, bro. But yeah, maybe I gotta pick another. Do I have to pick something else other than Google? Just do what you do. Yes, sir. He's got a 12-inch and he knows how to lose it. Oh, dude. Holy cow, guys. Wow, wow, wow. I gotta do this, bro, for this. Bam, bro. Look at that. Oh. Oh. Dude. Several staplers and several metal rulers. Yeah, we gotta have the metal rulers. Go back and see. I wouldn't lie to you. You look like Turtle. Okay. Kanan says, what you use that ruler for? So I told you I have different businesses, and I just like measuring things. I like getting things precise. I like to, like, dude, like for example, you order a mug from Amazon. You want it to be the size you want it to be, right? So why not pull out the ruler and make sure it's the right size? You know what I'm saying? Thanks, Kanan. Thanks, Timothy. Thank you, bro. They're on sale. They're on my website. And by the way, I'm working a deal with Jesse Lee Peterson for his merch. We're trying to put a deal together to do a bundle deal with his merch and my hats, my merch. So stay tuned for that. That's happening. And I might even get Jesse Lee Peterson on my show, by the way. So we're in talks right now. So we'll see what happens. But I love Jesse Lee Peterson, bro. He's the man. But he's getting older, man. He's getting older. DDB says tape measure is better than ruler. I use both. Bro. I need both. I use mine to see if my penis has fully grown. Oh man, please play his beta soundbite. Parker says, please play his beta soundbites. With pleasure, Parker. I thought you'd never ask, bro.
Beta male.
Man, be alpha male, not a beta male.
Man, be a alpha male, not a beta male.
Not a beta male.
Man, be a alpha male, not a beta male.
What the?
Satan is your daddy.
Satan is your daddy, woman.
Satan is your daddy, woman.
Satan is your daddy, woman. The great white hope.
Anyone that is crying about all that great shit Trump is doing has clearly forgotten the cringe last 4 years. W. Nikki, bro. Welcome to the Medication Show, bro. Welcome to Medication Live, bro. Holy cow. Bro, we just spent, Nikki, we just spent like an hour, it felt like, on the phone with someone trying to convince us that Biden is mentally better now than Trump ever was in his whole life. Can you believe it, bro? Are you out of your cotton picking mind?
Are you out of your cotton picking mind?
Dang, guys. We're at 7,006 subscribers. It's officially 11:19 in Southern California. I still have some admin work to do on my businesses before I go to bed. And then I got to wake up early enough to catch the morning sunrise as the sun peeks out. And I take pictures of it. I do photography every morning. Guys, I love you so much. Thank you for coming on with me. Thank you. We're all alive at the same time, unless some of you are bots. But otherwise, we're all alive right now on this planet at the same time. It's so cool. Let's learn and discover together. Let's chat, have dialogue. Let's hang out. Love you guys. Thank you guys. I'm going to go. And I'll be back on tomorrow morning, Pacific Standard Time, sometime in the morning, sometime in the evening. I usually do a morning show and an evening show. Slim, you missed the phone call, bro. It was so good. The phone call today, the caller called in, and then the phone call yesterday. Those were 2 back-to-back days of phone calls that were, I think they were pretty damn good. And bro, we're going to do more phone calls, but love you guys. Later, guys. Have a good night, and I'll see ya. Peace. Thank you. Peace.